This is the time to come together to keep our country safe forever. So open up your heart, let us show love number in. So that's all we need to make a stand. Let's protect one another and let's live together as brothers and sisters. Without togetherness, we won't have a peace of mind to celebrate and have a peaceful home. Sweet Liberia, land of liberty is our home. Let us keep standing. It's the one and only home that we have.
Sweet, sweet, oh sweet Liberia, land of liberty is our home, is your home, is my home. I want to say I'm excited to be back with a special edition of the Dakpannah Show. I am your one and only, the indefatigable perspicacious Dakpannah. I'm excited to be here on the nation's premier platform where we discuss the issue that matter most to Liberia. All of the issues that matter most to Liberia. Wherever you are, however you are following, I want you to help to share this live. Tell a friend to invite a friend because today's edition of the Dakpannah Show promises to be magnificent, fascinating, and splendid. We cannot develop when there is war. We cannot rise as a people when we are in confusion with one another. We cannot be divided as a country or as a nation and we expect to have positive change. We need to unite. United we stand, divided we fall. We need to join hands together, pick up the broken pieces. That's the only way Liberia will get better. That's the only way we will rise high above the fray. That's the only way we'll take our rightful spot amongst the committee of nations. If you love Liberia and I love Liberia, you and I will see each other as brothers and sisters, and we'll be able to embrace each other for one common good. Liberia is our common denominator. Liberia is our common patrimony. So it's about time that we all sit around the table to discuss Liberia positively. Let's put aside all the negativity and focus on the better good of our common denominator, our common patrimony, Liberia. Because Mama Liberia needs us more than we think. I want to say welcome. I'm excited to be back. Today I have a special individual here with me. Most of you guys been asking me, Dakpannah, why you cannot bring female as a guest? It's difficult for you to bring female. Today I was successful and thank God that she gave me the privilege to bring her on. So today we have our dear friend with us. She's a mother, she's a sister, she's a daughter, she's a humanitarian, a politician, she's a political commentator. So today she and I will be discussing a wide range of national issues. She known as Madam Korto Jallah. She is famously known on the social media as May Korto Blessing, a true daughter of Liberia. She's from Lofa County. Vanjema, I don't know that Vanjema, I don't know that Dakpannah, or but she will tell us, but she from Lofa Kante. I want to say welcome. Tell a friend to invite a friend, all the females. You guys need to come here and support your sister, Share the live. I want to say thanks to all of you guys. Before I bring her on, I want to say Dakpannah Show is a thought provoking and stimulating talk show that discusses topic of national significance. We discuss the issues that matter most to Liberia. Forward of personal attacks. We agree to disagree with dialogue and not confrontation. On the Dakpannah Show, we speak words and we do not shoot bullets. We seek to make Liberia a wholesome, functioning society for all of us. And we'll also solicit the views of everywhere many Liberians, no matter which part of the political divide you may be, no matter which part of the political divide you may stand. We afford all the opportunity to come here and discuss Liberia. The Dakpannah Show is a conduit to promote peace, reconciliation, and national unity. Well, how much I do, I want to say welcome to all of you guys. May Korto blessing. Thank you for joining the platform as a guest. You are always been here, participating in the comment section. Sometimes you call in. But today I have you as my guest. Welcome to the Dakpannah Show.
Yeah, I want to say thank you so much, Dakpannah, for letting me to be on your show today. And I want to say hi to everyone in Liberia, wherever you
Mhm,
are, around the world that listen to this program at this time and will be listening to the program later on. I'm glad to be here. My name is Korto Jallah, as you can see there.
mhm.
I'm presently located in New Jersey. I precisely the Ewing era. And I'm glad to be part of this thought provocative show. And
Mhm.
I mean, let's the issue roll. That's what we are here for.
Okay, thank you very much. Before we go into the discussion, we would like to know who is May Korto Blessing. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe education, family, and other activities as it relates to politics and other engagement in the motherland?
Oh my God, you coming to expose me, man. Let's be in my little heavy corner and just be talking, right? You coming to, to put me out there. Uh, like you can see, my name is Korto Jallah. My parents hailed from Lofa County, to be precise, the Vanyama district, in Lutisu town on the Vanyama highway. And I was successful among my father children to have been the one out of college and fighting hard to get my siblings, out of college.
Mhm,
Yeah, I was able because my parents both were not educated. My father only stopped in fourth grade, and my mother did not even go to school. So I found myself from both parents not educated. But want to be thankful to the both of them for their high struggling that they struggled that they went through to get me educated. Because I remember my late father would always tell me where they did not go is where they want to see me. And he was like my hero. And so I miss him so much because it was this time that he's supposed to be sitting and be enjoying his fruits that he had, the trees that he planted to get his fruit. But unfortunately, he's not alive now to enjoy that fruit. But I want to say thank you to my aging mother, whom I appreciate so much because she was let me say, on the front line, the base of, my success today. Because the both of them will always say, we want you to go to school. But my father always pointed at women that were successful, in education, and he wanted me to be, one of those women, educated and could stand and advocate for women. And that was actually something that he imparted in me because what he did was he always took me along with him to family gatherings, and he was always hailed as either a chief or here as the president of the organizations. So he always guided me as to how to be, a leader, the role of leadership. And those roles that at the time when I was small, I did not understand it, at the time. But now grown
Mhm.
up, started to relate, from the past eras he taught me, educations he gave me, and I thought that indeed this is actually what leadership is. And when I started to learn about, leadership, then I knew they practice leadership in their own ways and forms that were, considered educated. The only thing is that they did not put it on record. And to be precise about my educational background, I have a master's degree in international relations from the IBB school. And when I came in America here, I could not practice politics. And when I came, I thought wise that, something that I wanted to do way back that the opportunity was not afforded me to actually make use of that opportunity. When I first entered the University of Liberia, I was in the science college. I wanted to go to become a medical doctor. But then when the war broke out in 1990, the science department was not that equipped. I tried to see whether I could find myself in the medical field, but we had a challenge with the science lab, and the medical lab was equipped at that time. And looking at the disadvantage, I could not just go and do the course without being, in a well-equipped era. So I did not go to medical college. I had to switch to business college because at the time I was living single. Now being self-supportive, I have to only stay in the single area and work where I could not afford to just go to where they have to schedule the lab. I couldn't afford it because I became a mother now for the rest of my
Mhm.
siblings. It became difficult for me. Now I have to be looking at myself and start looking at my siblings because my parents were no longer in a position of taking care of the rest of my siblings. So I took that pause, and then I have to just continue with the business college, which I could just, it was a walking distance from me to the University of Liberia. So I took on accounting major and management minor, which I have my BBA in accounting. And then I went to follow up in IBB, Master in International Relations. When I came here, I thought since I did not achieve what I wanted to achieve, the opportunity was afforded me here. I decided to go to the nursing school. And today I can say, praise God, even though I have not gotten to the higher heights, but at
Mhm.
least I have a BSc in nursing. I want to be grateful for that because it's not an easy thing, even though I still striving to make it to the higher height. If the opportunity and strength can be given me, I I wish I could. But right now, I don't know whether it's the strength or the fatigue in me that I don't know. But if God gave me the strength, I go. But for
You
now,
should get there.
nice. I'm a nice politician right now because actually I love politics. I love leadership because I saw that my father taught me how to be a leader, and everywhere I work, everywhere that I went to school, I was always somehow serving in leadership. So I think I have some calling in that area, whereas I'm still nurse. But we have collaboration in the two things, be a nurse and be a politician. Only that people who haven't been in the maybe career they will not know, but I think for me they have uh, one or relationship that I think I can correlate them to. So there where I am, I found myself. I have many children.
Mm.
Maybe I have uh, four biological and many, because I don't want to call the number here.
Yeah.
But they are such that when you see my kids together, you don't know the difference between the biological and the adopted ones. So in fact, my adopted son is like he's like oversees everything for me that I trust with everything. So that's why I feel that there is no distinction in having children. Children are the children, especially when you are given the opportunity to be having, giving kids to take care of. You know the upbringing, just serve them perfectly, serve them as your own. And I can attest to that even more than my own, he cares about me and everything about me. He's just more concerned. And I love all of my kids, and even others like my family, my siblings, kids. They are all like I'm like somehow like somehow the breadwinner in my family. So that's why I like kind of found myself like always working and struggling to make the ends meet idea in. So I'm just grateful for that, for my.
Well, that's a good one. We want to appreciate you at least for telling us some of the things that you're involved with and some of those things that you went through to get your education and for us to know who you are in some sense. But you are a female, and it is a culture practice in Liberia that female are not given an opportunity to go to school to learn. They are responsible for taking care of the homes and their children, their husbands. So how did you go through all of those things that you went through to get an education? Was it easy for you? Did you get all the necessary support from your parents, 100%? Or it was somehow difficult that you got to fight your way through, you had to fall in trouble at times just because you wanted to get an education as a kid child?
um Thank you so much, Dakpannah.
Mm,
It wasn't an easy thing,
mm,
especially at that time where I started
mm,
my education. Not many women were accepted, to be sent to school
mm,
because people felt that girls' children were to be, with parents, and learn how to take care of homes, and then the next thing they are sent to be married out. But luckily for my parents, especially my dad, he's like, I don't know what he's really saw in me that he really wanted I me to be educated because like for two of my sisters were not given the opportunity to go to school. But he was like single-handedly handling me to the point that I thought he hated me so much that he could not force the other people to go to school, but was just forcing me to go to school at the early stage because it was like he talked about school. But then when I remember what I remember vividly was like,
mm,
you know, those days they had schools that were given relief, school feeding programs that they had at the time. And we used to go to school, but at the time my father was not like the able person like that had means of sending all of the children to school. He would be there, they would be teaching us home, but it was not like in a formal, school. So, but then I started, going to the school where we used to go and get the burger week. Those days they used to cook the burger week in school,
yeah, 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 I remember that.
living behind the barracks at the time, where the military barracks, where his uncle was, and all of the family were there. So I started going to the barracks school at the time. I remember going in the school when I was small, and they told me we have finished eating and we should go back, home. But so I was like, no, I will stay in class. And as small as I was, as little as I was, I found myself sitting in the classroom, and they could not send me home, you know. because when they tried to send me home, I refused to go home. So I sat in the class. But I wasn't wear uniform. So they tried sending me home. But the following day again, I found myself going back to school. But I think somewhere or the other how it was negotiated between the school and my parents. I really will not tell you how it was. But from there on, I saw myself going to school. You know. And in my whole life, I've always, been the one seeking for the school I want to go to. When I heard that, oh, this school is good, I always told my dad, that's the school I want to attend. And that's how I found myself finding school for myself and always in a position of doing that for myself. Even though they supported financially, but when it came to finding school, I always found a school that I really wanted to go to. And they supported me in sending me to the school that I went to. And from the Barry School, we were taking, normally we have this signing thing, signing society,
Yeah.
where our parents are that traditional society, they have to, initiate you guys through it. So they store us and carry us in Lofa to go and go through. Yeah,
So you are safe on that.
yeah. So they carry us there. I got in love for the tradition and everything, and I was there. And after the whole ceremony, my grandmother and I took me to be her traditional dancer there in Lofa because I love this dancing thing. It's not just now. I love from small. I used to like the dancing thing, and then she started carrying me, to area where I was respected as the dancer. She was the leader there, the women leader there. So I found pleasure in that. But my father then was not. He thought that I was his juror and he would not let me be there. Then he went there and took me from Lofa. And when he took me from there, that lady was very unsatisfied or dissatisfied with what my father did. So he started speaking to my dad, for him bringing me to Monrovia. That's how I came back to Monrovia and continued my education. That's how, and today I would say it is the steadfastness of my dad that was able to achieve thus far in education. So that leadership role that I really saw in my father, I decided to, and it's just part of me. As you can see, sometimes I even want to just leave the Facebook and do away with politics. But I feel that if somebody can impact something in me, which is my dad, and other adults that he affiliated with, I think I should make impact to others too. Let them know that it is important to know how to select leaders, to know how to, educate others if you have the opportunity to educate others. And that's why sometimes I come on Facebook to let other people know that do not let anything deter you. Once you are determined, you be successful in whatever you want to achieve. And for me, I think that's my motto in life is be steadfast, be courageous, and every other thing you want to go do, trusting God with it, you will be successful. And that's the motto I have. And that's why you see me in politics. And
Okay.
besides that, I decided to when I graduated from the IBB, I was staying in the IBB. I think I graduated. No, I have completed my my graduate study, but we have not gone through the graduation ceremony then. So when women election came in, when Ellen was elected as, I think she was in her process of electing. Because the 2005, no, I did not partake. It was when she was already in power, when we were encouraging women. And I was one of those that they started encouraging to take part into our Liberian elections. Even though I was hesitant, but then the persistence of the community and my district members, I decided to take the chance, to be in it. But at the time, they were looking at two parties. Then it was then the Unity Party and the CDC. We was, that was majorly looked at in politics. So while they were looking for, I was part of the supporting, during our part of the Ellen, support. I wanted to run on the United Party ticket, which we were all, going towards the United Party, to run under the United Party. But then we have this, the day of the, uh, what they call the election process, the selection process, the primary. The day of the primary, 2 days, yes, I think, well, 2 days to the primary, I got sick.
Mm-hmm.
I got a terrible headache, and then it couldn't just go. I was down for almost a week. That's how the Gabriel Yekan group went, with the masses that were there, various groups that were there to partake in the primary group. And then there was an outbreak, fighting went on. Even as I wasn't there, people wanted to stay, send my name in so that they could, have this election done, but I couldn't make it to be there. So Gabriel Yukam brought a confusion in the camp, and they were able to drive other people away. And as I learned that they drove other people, and how he forcibly, took the primary seat for the Unity Party. Then that's how Gabriel Yukam ran on the Unity Party. And then we could not,
Mm-hmm.
our aim and objective was for Ellen to win election. And for Ellen to win, we needed to collaborate. So I was from part of the group that I went with the UN, what's the party, that NDPL at the time, because that was where I was sent to make sure to do the negotiation between the NDPL in collaborating with the Unity Party. So then the NDPL decided that since they were not few candidates over there in the District 11 at the time where I was, she used me to fill me there because they wanted their name, quote unquote, NDPL to not die. So we work on the negotiation, and that's how I ran on the NDPL ticket. And you could see that the NDPL was not really known. It was difficult for me to run the campaign. It was not an easy thing because it was like selling a commodity that is not marketable. That's how it was. When you call in the name NDPL, people were like, "What party?" So I was like, "Okay, don't concentrate on this party too much now. What I want you to focus on is the presidency." So that's what I was focusing on, to continue to run the campaign for Ellen to win. And that's how you see in our district. So
Okay.
it was between the two parties now, Unity Party, and even though I got votes, but the actual, election was between the Unity Party and the CDC. So I did not win the election at the time because of that.
Okay. So you have been actively involved with politics in Liberia. You also contested for the district seat, but unfortunately, you were successful.
No, I wasn't
But I
successful.
want for us to look at women participation in politics. It seems like we don't have that of women willing to get involved with politics, because with all of the toxicness in the whole politics team. So most women they are joined back, and some of them they are not even encouraged. When you look at the political parties, like the 2020 senatorial election that just that just passed, we saw that a lot of political parties they didn't feel female candidates, and the NEC came out with a law asking all political parties to make 30% women representation. But we still not seeing it happen. Women are not being encouraged to get involved in politics. And women themselves, they are not really stepping up to the plate. So what do you think is really wrong?
Yeah, the problem actually is because of the cultural background that we have in Liberia. Most men try to suppress women from expressing their intention. Even if for the very few of us that took that stand of expressing the our intents, uh, our intention in running as a senator or representative, there are a lot of challenges because
Mm.
Neil felt that they are always at the high end and they suppress women versus her. And not to mention others, I felt the weight of it. I felt a serious weight of it. Because I been married at the time that my husband could not support me in the election because he felt that the support was not supposed to be given to me as woman. The support was supposed to be given to him as man, as a man. So, which was a challenging thing, to be frank with you. And I saw because I was part of the group that I took that initiative of that 30% when Geraldine, the late Geraldine died, and were in the house. We had like so many women at the time in the House and the Senate. We tried to put that bill forth, but we also have the problem again now. We have a dominant male in the legislature, so it could not go through easily because we fought all the way. Ellen, the president was a female. It was difficult because male did not want to put forth or to even encourage that 30% bill with all the effort we tried to make. So they killed the bill at the time. They kept it below because for some reason they could not actually contribute towards it. But again, we see women too that are supposed to support, that are supposed to support their female candidates. You see that because of their male counterparts, they tend to support male because they feel in Liberia that if they don't support the man, for them they won't do anything for themselves.
Yeah, they were all going next because what we're
Yeah,
seeing that happening in Liberia. When a female step up, you don't see their fellow females supporting them. It happened recently in the House of Representatives. There's a female that ran to be deputy speaker, and we have 8 females over there. None of them supported her. I think only one person supported her. That was it. So women too, they are to be blamed because they are not putting their support behind their fellow females. And when you look at the 2008 population census statistic, women are 60% within the country. So you guys are huge. So why you guys not supporting one another? Instead, most of you guys prefer supporting the men.
yeah. I don't know but for my case too. It's not just any female too. You know, sometimes for me also I have that I had that feeling that, oh, let's support women, but I have come to realize it's just not any woman that you can put forth there.
Okay.
It has to be qualified and competent, female to put forth. You can't just put anybody there because we expect a better output, not just putting somebody there and cannot yield results. We want somebody that will get there that will be able to
And
achieve
definitely,
our aim and
and definitely,
objective.
I agree with you right there.
Yeah,
Sometimes that's the case some of the men they always make. It's not because they say that you should elect woman, so you should just elect any a woman. There
yeah,
was a nurse in the 2020 special senatorial election. There was a female in Bapulu there. Everybody was like, "Oh, we need to support the female." Blah 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 blah. But today, if you follow her activity in the Senate, she's just there.
it's
She's not
dormant.
up to the
You know,
task. She
it's
don't debate
dormant.
the issue. She is totally out of the discussion. So sometimes when the women that you guys that the people say, okay, that will give them the opportunity, but the women that will step up, but one may say, but you guys who are educated, you guys are not stepping up. So those women that don't really know, they're just trying to log, and when they get there, then they try to muddy the water for the rest of you guys that we can say in Liberia.
Yeah, so that's how already been the case because we see women, afraid to talk, in public, and some don't like to, they get shy and think. I was one of those, and to be frank with you, I was what they call stutterer, and up to now I still stutter, but I didn't like it impede, my political ambition because you will see that if I even talking sometimes I stutter and is sometimes I'm cut off. But I fought it and I think it works a lot and I benefit from it. I don't like it impede me because it's like an impediment. If you like it, any impediment keep you down, you don't agree.
Mhm.
And I've seen that I've all grown for the better because I used to stutter and used to make me shy to talk among people. Even as I was speaking, sometimes it happens, but it's just that I have found a way where I can easily control it, as compared to the way it used to be before, because I used to be to the point that when I even talking that I will just stop and won't talk. But I found a way that I can, manipulate it and I've been taught on what to do, to avoid it. And if you gotta be a person who, very careful or sometimes who observant to observe that I'm a stutterer. So that's how it is. So you fight your impediment. If you're a shy person, fight that shyness and overcome it. So I'm just somebody who like to fight my whatever my impediment, to build my strength on. That's how I have managed to stay
Yeah,
being.
and today when you look at the House of Representative, I think we got like, if I'm not mistaken, six, I think eight females.
Yeah.
But I think you only hear about two or three. They are outspoken, they debate, but the rest of them they don't really debate. You don't hear them talking. And when you go to the Senate, you got two there, but only one is up to
Only
the tax. So
yeah.
what can you guys do so as to maybe work around with your colleagues, those of your females that are already elected to those positions, so that they can step up, so that they can be able to debate the issues, so that they can be able to represent their people properly. Because you saw Mona Pena, the late Mona Pena, she was outspoken, she represented her people well. Because that place, the legislature, is a place for you to speak out. You need to debate, you need to put your point across. That's the only way you'll be respected. But if you don't talk, you if you just there sit there and be a bubble lawmaker and just vote yay nay, at the end of the day, people won't respect you. So what can you guys do now to educate some of your friends that are already elected so that they can step up and start bringing somehow embarrassment to you female in the legislature?
Yeah, the only thing really for me, I think I'm doing the ones that are there, like for the Senator Yomli Kanga, I'm very highly one of her supporters,
Yes, she has spoken.
and other females, for the representatives, I don't know, they kind of like so kind of close and you hardly hear of them. You try to even get in touch with them, you hardly get in touch with them. So that's the problem actually we face with them. I'm telling you, I'm the person that like to get inbox, to get in people
Hmm.
inboxes, and get to know them and get to talk to them. I don't like to just get on the Facebook and just talk to people, but I like to go in inboxes, to express or to raise my concern, especially with my female counterpart, because I hate to get on the Facebook and you know argue with my female, colleagues, or to discuss them or to disagree with them. I rather disagree with you in your inbox than to come on Facebook to do that. 'Cause I think that's not the best way. But I have problem in getting with the other females, to get their consent. That's the problem I have always faced with them. But I'm always in touch with Senator Lawrence. Even when
Okay.
she was here the last
All
time.
right.
No,
Now let's go to some of the current issue in the country. I know you are aware of most of them because you follow the news back home, you discuss it on other platforms. But I don't know where are we heading to as a country. Election is, I think, it is like 11 months from now. The National Election Commission should have started the process, the voter registration process this month, but they issue a statement suspending it to a later date due to some issues as it relates to the biometric. I really don't know whether, with all that is happening with the NEC, whether we'll have election on time comes next year. What do you make of the NEC cancellation of the voter registration process?
I have serious reservation on that because actually, election is a constitutional issue and is a kind of issue that should not be played with. We know what election have led us to, and we do not want election to lead us to anything other than what we have passed through, or something substantive or fruitful that we can better benefit of. And I've been seeing that this is where also I come. I was actually I advocated for uh, Mrs. What's her name? Lasana, Mrs. Lasana to be in as a chairperson of that
Or
NEC.
Jerry Edgar Brown Lasana?
Yes, this is Lasana. So that's her name, Lasana. So
Yeah.
seeing her output has discouraged me a lot because we expected her to have done the difference, to have changed the trajectory of the neck, that I expected her to be. But again, all boils down to the leadership, the government in that we have presently. If you see, like, if you have your children in a home and you dysfunctional in your home, you see the children will not respect you, they start going their way. So that's why I think with most of the institutions, the pressure is not from the president down to whoever responsible to put pressure on the National Election Commission, even down to not even not say down, up to the Senate. You see the people go there to discuss the issue. You see only one or two person raising up these high issues concerning the National Election Commission, because most time I only see like ADD talking about the neck dysfunctional attitude, and you see the other senators are there supporting. Then I find it that it is because that the leadership we have right now are leading to this kind of thing going on. If you are seeing that they're calling the head of the National Election Commission and telling them what to do, because I remember the last time they met with her, they kept asking her if the election process was on path, if she could actually meet up with the timeline she said. And I heard her saying that it is true that she's going to meet up with Tom. And these people were cautioning her that the biometric system that they want to undertake, they didn't think that it was possible because of the challenges as they mean that going through a new system, there has to be a new company that will have this. There had to be education, conducted on the biometric registration, and so many things were listed. But she insisted, she still said that she could meet up with the timeline. So my problem is, why, if you said that you could meet up with the timeline, why are you not still meeting up with the timeline? So it's a serious problem. And now there is no way you cannot have election, because one day after the term of the presidency, George Weah will then stay in power. It's unconstitutional. So I don't know whether they're taking all of these things into consideration. You cannot have a president's team a day over their tenure. So this is why I don't know why they actually really looking at it but it's a serious problem. But you see people take their responsibility for a joke because no pressure, no
But do you want to blame her, or do you want to blame the board of commissioners? Because I think they have issue with the biometric. I think the PPCC disqualified the first company,
I agree.
and
Because we
mhm,
all been following, they disqualified them
mhm,
because of the group that is selected to do the biometric. They did not meet the benchmark of the
okay.
qualification or their term of their term to go through the process.
Hmm.
So we saw that they had all of these, and prior to that, in the Senate, they knew that there have been challenges. They called her attention to all of the challenges, but she insisted that it could be done. So if you say you're gonna make it done, so do everything to make the process work. So if that, I believe they had so many contractors. If one couldn't make it, the other one can make it. That's why they have many of them. You select the one that best. If the other one can make it, there are other companies that they could select. Or what you guys expect for that company to have. I know they may not have 100%, that any company that coming in may have 100%, but you're trying to single out, there will be some minor things that will not, that you can waive up, but important issues cannot be left out. So take the importance one and make sure it works because it's constitutional. You can joke with constitutional matter, even though it has become a usual habit that the government does not respect the constitutional issue anymore. But again, this is where we find ourselves. We are Liberians that do not respect ourselves. We do not respect timeline. We do not respect our responsibility. We don't respect infringing on other people's rights. And because of that, things just go any way they want to. Nobody to hold them to their feet. It just continues. And that's why I want a responsible government to be in charge. Because this is an irresponsible government. Because you won't be sitting there as a president. You will know that this thing to be going on. And you let them go
But
on.
the president cannot interfere with the NEC. They are independent.
So let me tell you that you can't
Mhm.
say who appointed them. It is the president that appointed them. So you can't say the president cannot interfere. You as a president, you want something done, you must make sure to continuously, guide them. So if it is phone to be available, it is the government, the president that's supposed to make sure that phone is delivered to them. If other things are supposed to be done, the president has to make sure it's done. It doesn't necessarily have to come directly from the president. That's why we have three branches of government. People there should be questioning these things. But this is where we have our problems. We have the judiciary. They only concerned about their pay. But what happened to constitutional issues? They are not responsible for that. They don't care about it.
But
But
don't you think the whole thing, if falls on the lap of the legislature?
it is not only the lap of the legislature. There are three branches of government. It's not only. The three of them should be concerned about what's going on. It's not the responsibility of just the legislature. If the legislature is not functioning well, the judiciary can question them. The executive can question them. That's why they should collaborate. It's not that one is overseeing the other, but the sake that is like the president can sit there and do anything. The legislature can check mark the president. The judiciary is doing the same thing. Nobody to check mark. And that's why they're supposed to be there, check marking one another. Check marking what the other person is not doing. I raise my concern about what the person is not doing right. And equally so, it rotates. But we see that these things are not going on. So it sleeps. And as it's sleeping, the country is sleeping. And that's why we find ourselves. It's not good at all. There is no nation or country you can see the attitude that is being exhibited in our country is done there. You see, even on Facebook, it have now become laughing stock. Our whole country have become a laughing stock. Even you working, your workmates, they take Liberia as a phone to make laugh at us. Don't take it for a joke that these things are happening. People don't see it. Other nationals see it. And they come asking you, hey, Korto, I saw something about your country. And like that, we do this thing to our workplaces. And people asking you. But mine is more than other people. I see every time I see other people that some improvements, some development in their country. But hey, Liberia is always some hullabaloo's that is going on in our country. So that's what I see for me, that nobody
Okay.
is pressurizing the next person as to what they are doing is not right. When one person want to tell the thing that you want to show up, and other people don't want to follow. If I like Dakpannah is doing the wrong thing, I don't want to tell Dakpannah that what he's doing is wrong. And it's not right. It's not right. I tell people that other time I was telling one of my friends, I said, I have my children. I know where they can go, which one can do what they were supposed to do. If you want that certain thing done, and you come to one of my sons there, they call him Slow But Show. I gave them name. Oh, overzealous. I gave them a name because they are within that era. So if I want overzealous thing, I go to Mr. Overzealous. If I want Mr. Show something as and I trust, I go to Mr. Slow and Show. That one is going to delay, but he will make sure he will meet up with talent, but I will be scared that he will not meet up with talent, he will meet up with it. So that's how they are. My other daughter, when you say you want things done in the faster mood, she will get it so much, but I gotta be check marking because in that fasting thing she doing, there's some mistakes in between. That's why I will be trying to close the mistakes that she want to make, but she will get it done faster. So that's how it is. You can just say, "Oh, I want something to." I say, "Okay, take one of them and go." Well, add that, showing emphasis on what the person can does, what the person does better. You can't have a country just running like this. Like I borrowed a word from former VP. Autopilot.
Mm.
It's autopilot. Anybody does anything they want to do, and nothing is done about it. Nothing is done about it. That's why we just going on.
Are you do you want to blame the leadership or you want to blame Liberians in general?
No, let me tell you something. I want to blame the leadership. Reason being, to be frank with you, let's see what anything that a leader is doing now. You will see many of the young people in Liberia, that's what they will be following. I listened to many of the people in my Gibi a few times. Okay? They
Mhm.
started saying when they asking a question about Maggie, what did they say? Maggie is the one we see in our community. Maggie is the one doing this thing. But they don't know that it's the government of Liberia job that Maggie is doing. All the things that Maggie personal money doing, what Maggie is doing. The people are not educated to say that the government of Liberia is the one doing this thing. If I went and I was building up, like for example, I was working for what the okay, like water and sewer, right? Let's say water and sewer. If water and sewer had
Mhm.
a pump project that was carried on in any of these districts or counties, and I went there and was implementing this project, it is me that they're looking at as implementing. They're not looking at the Liberia government as a whole, that everybody contribution going there to do the job. And it makes it look like it is like individual job because we don't have a system set that all of these things channel through the system. If an individual go there, it is an individual face that is seen. It is not going through the system where we sit here, everybody, my health benefit. I don't have to go to my senator or my representative. I never saw my senator or my representative I don't even know them. I don't even hear about them here. My health, my job, my everything. I don't go through them. Nothing is channeled through them. It's all through system. We have the private institution that are set up, and they dare go against the rule of the state. Nobody goes against the state. When you are caught, you are charged. You nobody above the law. We see the former president here, Trump, is in court. He's not above the law. So that's why it is the system should be there to be channeling these projects to not an individual. Because you ask them another time, oh, that Maggie did this one for us. Maggie did better market for us. Maggie was only royal for us. All you know is Maggie. Whereas he was supposed to be sitting there doing his job in the office, he in the field. He in the field doing the fieldsman job. He's not known as a hero. Now that he's considered as a corrupt person. Internationally, he considered corrupt people down there because it is Maggie's face that they have been seeing. So it is Maggie's that they are dramatically, they are gravitated to. So that's how our system is. You know, it makes it so bad. You don't send individuals to go and do things. You send institutions. You send organizations to do it. He was not there to be doing those things. That it is not he the same. So you go and ask these people to tell you, oh, that Maggie, we know that Maggie this. We did that even through the 19, what was the chancellor term election? 97, right? Or 98? I'm feeling forgetting most of the years.
97.
97, okay? 97, the same thing. When we went in those villages, I went there at some point. We went behind Batala era. I went to a town called Gaye behind Batala. When you ask the people, can you imagine? Amen. Something happened in that Batala that I always talking about. There was this lady that was still online to vote for Charles Taylor. Because of some reason, I don't know where that lady fell off from.
Mm-hmm.
And they took that lady to carry her and revive her. Hey, poor lady. That lady was revived. And you know what she said? She came back to cast her vote for Charles Taylor. So I was concerned to ask that lady, why did she come, to vote? Why was it? Why she was ready coming on the vote? You know what the lady told me? They told her Billy was higher than Charles Taylor gave me rice. That's all she knew. That Charles Taylor gave her rice. The time they used to say, there's some don, rice that they took from the ship at the time that they stole the rice from and were distributing it. That was the best thing that ever happened to that lady. And that's the person she was voting for. She was voting for Charles Taylor because Charles Taylor gave her rice. So that's how our voting system have been going on. People look at individual contribution to them as more as than looking at the national contribution to them, because the nation is not going to them. The country, the president or the what we consider as the very taxpayer money is not going to them physically for them to see it. The money that's supposed to be going to these people and conducting things that are supposed to say, individuals are putting it in their pocket and pretending that they are doing good for the people. If you took their money and went there and add a good Samaritan, it is you that they're looking at. Because they feel that you are the one supporting them, you are the one seeking their welfare. Why not put it into the health center where the people will go and have their medications? Where the people will go and have their children in school built. But no, individuals take the money and put it into their individual pockets and pretend that they are the best people. They are the good Samaritans. And we see our country going the way it is because of that. I feel it's the system that we do not have. So I don't know if I am thinking about it. And that's what some of us were looking at to see what we can put system in place. But here, the very Yinka man at the time that they voted for, Yinka was begging me because he was living in a one room. And he felt that when you go as a representative, It will help him to generate income to take care of him and his family. He seeks the legislature as a place to go and make money. The place for the legislature is not to go and make money. I keep telling people it's a place to go and seek the welfare of the people. It's not to go and generate income. If you want to be rich, be be a private person. It is not in a governmental era. That's why they call it what? Government. These are government institutions. It's not nowhere you will go and say, I'm going to get rich overnight. Except for those who have been stealing from government. You're not going to get rich overnight because the government resources is there for everybody. You're not supposed to take it and pocket it. But from time to time, this is what we have been seeing. People get into government ministerial position, into government institution. They want to take the people money and then pocket it. When I look at, that's why in Liberia, to be frank with you, I never work with the government directly. I work with government indirectly with contracts and things. Because when I look at some of the salaries these people were making, it was very funny to me because I couldn't go and be sitting in the office and just making that money and say I will pay my way every day and go to work. It has to be something that you're stealing that upkeeping you. Something that you're stealing that paying your way every day to go to work. So it's something that we need to look at. Look for the private sectors where the private sectors will have more employees. Like right now, I don't want to work with the state. I would say I'm not working with the state. I work for private institutions, and of course, do some work with private institutions and do some work with the states. It is left with me to decide. It is not forced that I work with the state. Okay, it is not forced that I work with. I choose between them. What best I can put myself through. So let the people have the opportunity where they can choose between X and Y. But that way we don't find that is not the opportunity.
Let me divert back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I see nowadays most of the females on the social media engaging with each other, fussing, causing drama, insulting each other, attacking each other children. And they say that it's a show base. They see fun in it. I don't know, how do you feel? I don't know whether you are part of it. I know
I
you're
don't go
not.
there.
Okay, you
I
don't
don't
go there,
go
but some of
there.
your friends they go there,
I'm
they
one
support
person
it,
you don't play with my kids. I'm
and
one person
they're generating
put
money.
your
They
mouth
give these females money, and they see it as a habit. So I don't know how do you feel as a woman to see your friends, other women, doing all of what they are doing on the social media, insulting each other, attacking each other children, saying all kind of nasty things about each other, digging up behind each other, and doing all kind of things. Do you think it's good for the females of Liberia? And if that continue, how will we the men respect women?
Thank you for that, Dakpannah. And I'm somebody who seriously have problem with that. That's why when I see that, I don't go on their post. If mistakenly I passing through there, I pass them and go.
Mm,
I have no interest in it. I have no part to play in it. But look at the number that we have here. Important issues that
mhm.
we're discussing.
Definitely.
How many person listening to us? If I was
Liberia for us.
if we're causing my cause here or doing something cause here, you will see the number will increase. The number will increase. But how many person interested in it now?
Mm.
It's not right.
So I know that's a mindset of
How many person
Liberians
you
in
see
general.
now listening to us? They want
Hmm.
to hear you insulting. They want to hear you screaming. They want to hear you doing all kind of things. I'm not fond of that. To be frank with you, I'm not fond of that. But how many of our people we see watching those kind of things? I was not fond of that upbringing. I was not fond in, and because of that, they feel that if you're not part of a certain group like that, then you are not recognized. Then you are not popular. You must be in that clique to be popular. If that's the clique I should be in to be called popular, then I don't think I'm going to be popular. I don't think I'm going to be popular because I will not click to those kind of group to be insulting before I be known as popular. No, I don't want to. I don't want to be popular if that's the only thing that will make me popular. It's not right. As somebody who don't like people putting their mouth on my children, I don't want anybody talking to my husband any way they feel like talking. So that's why when I come on my Facebook, I know people get tired of me posting my picture and things, but that's me. That's how I feel. You want to see it, you see it. You don't want to see it, just pass it. Don't even comment. You don't have to comment. You go. I'm doing it for memory. All of these things we're doing are for memory. Sometimes you said, like I was telling you, my father, I remember what some of the things my father used to say. And those things rings in, they ring in my bell, in my ears. And for corrective measure, for educational matter, for so many things. And I learned, and many of these things I practiced then, and they work for me. For me, if I'm successful, I mean, those are the things that make me successful. And I don't have to have $1,000,000 before somebody tell me I'm successful. No, I don't care. Once I'm able to be successful in certain achievement I want to go to, that's my riches. I don't have to have millions of dollars. So that's how I feel. It's not right. And I'm calling on my Liberian sisters. This is not decent. I don't know how to think, but again, people think that's how they act and they are popular. Because you see it, you will see the number. The
Yeah,
number,
definitely.
you will see the
See
number.
a lot of numbers, 1,000,
Yes,
2,000.
okay. But we're talking important things that will benefit us. You don't see the number.
We got only 11 people following us so far. But make God a blessing. That go to the census. We all know how important census is when it comes to the development of any country. The last time we did census was 2008. Census should be done every 10 years. 2018, I don't know what happened. We didn't do the census. They have been delaying, 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 and this year they decided to do the census. But before the census could be launched, there have been a lot of how you call it, hurubalu surrounding the entire census as it relates to corruption, claims and counterclaims, and so forth. And President, we had declared a holiday. I think it was November 10 or 11. Declared a holiday. We didn't see the process getting on. We saw protest. We saw enumerators protesting all over the country for their money. As far as I know, yes, it is true the census is impressive. I don't know how successful it is. One of the directors at the census came up and he accused some of your colleagues, LACC investigator. They were found guilty. They indicted them. President Ware refused to take action. And all of this, the whole rip and roll going on with the census. But one of the reasons why I really don't like to talk about the census too much because the international community keeps coming up and saying, "Oh yes, the census is on course. We will take responsibility of the census not starting on day one and so forth." So I don't know how do you look at the entire census process with all the claims and counterclaims, allegation, the accusing Samuel 12, even though he's sick, but he was accused of involving in eating the census money and some of the other guys. So you following? How do you make up the entire census? We saw the vice president also. She addressed the Ministry of Information regular press briefing. She said we're on course, and she said the information that she put out, it was the information given to her by the international community. The other time we saw her at the latest, and they just came out the other day and said they were able to get 1.6 million people, and the process is ongoing. So what's the take with the whole sensor wahala?
Thank you so much. We know it has become a fiasco. And I heard you saying, I hear the international community saying that it is fruitful.
Hmm.
I work
Even
with
the U.S. ambassador, he
I
said it
work, I
on his
work with
own coast.
I work with the NGO.
Hmm.
Okay, and people are in Liberia because of job. They are not there because they want you. They want to see something the way it is. You have to be your own advocate.
Okay.
Whether you do it or not, those people are getting their pay. That's what they are doing. I was there working with NGO and reporting every fifth. I have to make sure to send those people money. And I tell you that majority of the money that come to Liberia as donor fund go back to the people that send the money because of expatriates that they send behind the money. I work with NGO and I was making report. I know monthly report every fifth of the month, making the report back. And when are you making that report, they send you the report from where they come from. Expatriates that come, they are not living on their salary here. They're living on allowance here. That money is subtracted from the money they told you that they donated to the country. And when you hear the huge sum amount, we donated $1 million to Liberia, we donated 500,000 to Liberia, you end up having how much sometimes? It is sometimes either 45% or let's say 50 to 60% that is remaining in Liberia, the bulk of it going right back. So I can tell you how the international community report goes on. And they tell you if they have their interests, they're going to tell you what their interest is. When they wanted Ellen to be elected, we know what we used to hear. In the international community, we know what we used to hear. We knew what they wanted to do. When they didn't want for George Weah to be president, we know what we're hearing. So that's why we're telling our people, do not vote George Weah. Because we knew what the outcome would have been. They have already knew who George Weah is. So right now they're there. They don't care because you elected who you wanted. So all they want to make their money and get out of Liberia. When they come, they are benefiting being in Liberia than being in their very countries that they work. It wasn't for my children right now. I say I go to any other country as an expat. My money will be bunking here. I'll be working for just per damn there. And when I come back, my money sitting waiting for me. That's how it is. So you should not listen to what they will tell you, say is everything is okay. They're not in your favor as compared to you should be your own advocate. You think you'll be doing the wrong thing and you expect people to come from all above to tell you, say that the wrong thing you're doing? We sitting down there, we saw Magana doing the wrong thing. When people were talking, the president did not heal to it. No Liberian heal to it because they felt that when Magana takes the money, some of their share will come to them. That's why they were looking at. They were not looking at the big picture of Liberians supposed to benefit. They were thinking a Liberian benefiting, me benefiting, not the rest of the people benefiting. And not many of us are looking at that. Very few Liberians just look at the national interests. Very few. Because if Liberia is benefiting, my whole family will be benefiting. I won't have to be overworking to support my family home. And we don't look at those things. But if I am enjoying now, it is me. I don't care. The rest of the people ain't enjoying. Hell with them, as we say. But it's not right. It is not right. That post system to place. We so much against system. We don't want any system set up. We don't want any system set up that we can allow follow in the system. Nobody wants to be interrogated. Nobody wants to deal with the right thing. We all just want to be our own way. Everybody doing their own thing. And it's not right. Every day I'm praying, how do I work towards a system set up in Liberia? Who leader can I work to make sure system is set up in Liberia? And that's my advocate right now. I want a government that I will elect that will put a system in place. And to those that will actually come and be listening to the program, I'm begging your Liberian, don't be
Mm-hmm.
selfish to just look at what you can achieve. If I was looking at what I can get, I would not even be sitting here with you. I didn't have to come because the hour I wasted here, it will be money for me.
Definitely.
It will be money for me. I don't have to come and be talking here and talking empty talk. But I want somebody's life to feel part of what I'm saying. Somebody to benefit from what I'm saying because I benefited from it. And I think by advising some of my brothers and sisters that will come tomorrow and listen to what I'm saying here will make sense out of it and vote somebody that will put a system in place, not like a play ball. Because
May
we
God a
play a
blessing.
play ball in government.
May God a blessing from the way I hear you speak. You are disappointed in the WIA region, the leadership style WIA. You feel that WIA is not performing, and you don't want WIA to be elected comes 2023. But who is the alternative? Who can we point to? The opposition came up few months ago. They established the CPP. That was a formidable force. We saw their power in the last election, the special assembly election. They took a lot of seats, but then they got disrupted with each other because of confusion. The other person want to be, the other person said, no, I want to be because of that. The whole CPP, it got dissolved. It's almost like there's no CPP. Baga is on his own. Baga and Yuri on the other side, Cummings on the other side, Liberty Party into serious turmoil and so forth. So, do we really have a serious opposition that can face WIA? Because the only way WIA can be defeated, because he's the incumbent, the only way he can be defeated if the opposition stand together. But if the opposition goes split up, WIA could just be re-elected by the people. So, what is going on within the opposition? It's like they are not serious.
You can't say they are not serious. It's power struggle.
Okay.
Yeah, it's power struggle. I feel that I can do better than Dakpannah. And
Hmm.
Dakpannah feels that he can do better than me. That's the power struggle. You should expect that in politics. Because what I'm saying here, you might not like what I'm saying. You will not even have interest in what I'm saying. But does that mean that I don't have to exist? Of course, we have to coexist. It's not everything that I will say here, but take the good part and accept the good part, and that's the wrong ones. We have to learn to take the good ones. But then splitting apart does not necessarily destroy my decision I made to select one of them. And that's the mentality we're having. Oh, okay, if they're not hold together, I will go vote for we are who going to feed it?
But
It's
make God bless you.
not
When they all go on their own, don't you think we all walk in the park? We all just take everything because they
why would
are
we take
divided.
everything? You don't know the people in Liberia, they don't know that we are is not doing the right thing. They don't know.
But if you look
That
at the
somebody must go
polls,
and tell them that we are is not doing the right thing. Okay, let's listen to what I'm saying.
mm, hmm
Okay, these people they have Baka, they have Kumi, they have uh,
they
Councillor
are Councilor Gonglo,
Councillor Gonglo, and they have this lady. They have a lady in their midst called look at my
Mandela Cooper.
Mandela Cooper. Okay, they have these people. They are all good candidates, except that we have to choose one for individual to say, okay, me, I choose this over the rest of them, or you choose this over the rest of them. But they are all good candidates. Are you going to let already good candidates go because you want we are in? You did the same thing. You used the wrong result. Are you going to repeat the same mistake? Do not. So I tell them, do not do that because it's going to affect you more. But again, what happened, what I see our people going through is so frustrating. It's like they've become complacent of the condition they see themselves in. People become frustrated and accept that way of life that that's the best way to live. So they are so mute to the suffering. They mute to the suffering to the sense that anything happen, let it happen.
Mhm.
Yes, that's what happening. Anything.
Most of the people I speak to, they're saying that, well, we are tired of voting people with the same old message, and they don't do those things that they promise. They will come up with make all the promises, good promises, and when you elect them, they don't really do it. So they are saying that it's better to be with the devil and then be with the angel. So
No,
they prefer we
that's
are
that's
who
the
have
wrong
done
thing.
something.
That's the wrong thing. You chose the devil because you didn't assess the devil better.
Mm.
So that's why people will come in, we telling them you don't have to. Any of the people can do better than Josh Weah. You see the man left his country and when how many days he out of the country for? 48.
For the 8 days,
That
he will be out of the country for
almost
48 days.
almost
But they
going to
said that's a
year and
smart
a half.
travel.
Sorry?
The commissioner of maritime said that's a smart travel because he will be bringing a lot to the country.
Okay. You will be bringing a lot. And then I said that they will be bringing a lot. That's how money come. Money doesn't come that way. You can sit right now. You must say here, technology is so unique now that anything I want to be done anywhere else, I can do it now. Like today, certain thing I wanted to order, the way I wanted it order. Right there, I told the people how I wanted it, and they're going to give it, send it the way I want it. If they don't do it the right way, I can send it back to them, and it will be done effectively. That's how the whole world has become small. Why go
Mm.
up now to stay so many days to have something done if you want it? It's not. It's not true. It's not right. The thing is, okay, you have gone out. Lot of things suspended. Mind you, the budget for 2022, 2023 is penny. Census is penny. National election is penny. And those are the three major ones. The bulk of the things are all penny because the president is out of the country. Is that right? Just on one thing you want to achieve that you could sit on phone and talk, or you could the way you and myself talking, you can talk to any
Mm.
other president like that. What
Yeah.
else can you do? It doesn't make sense at all. He didn't have to take this long. He didn't have to. And you see people there,
So
um, oh God. It hurts me like they know that the person have gone and know they show what the person bringing. It's not like that because that's how they put in their mind that somebody will go and they play, they will go get money. Where? It's like, okay, I get my job to go do now and then leave my job and sitting here and say, I will expect my pay to come. My pay going to come if I didn't go to work. You don't work, you don't get money. But in Liberia, we work, we don't work, we get money. You saw
so
the other time there was a guy, Seku, that went to
yeah.
look at the justice ministry. I don't know whether you
Hmm.
watched that tape.
Yeah, I follow that.
You watched that tape. Nobody
Hmm.
was in the justice ministry to work. That big structure that's supposed to be having, I don't know how many workers. How many of the workers you saw there? How many people are actually working? But these are the people who sitting home, they feel complacent. When the pay come, it will come. Whether their life better? No. Some of them have stayed in one room or they in the one room with their children. But yeah, when they say voting, I join for vote for Jawia. Vote for Jawia. Your level, excuse me, your level just continue to be like that. Come on.
So make God a blessing. We all know that Marseille promised Liberians that she was going to develop the country, she was going to transform Liberia. And in fact, she was only going to go for one term. But then after the first term was completing, she announced that she was going for the second term. And when you really look at her record, she performed poorly in her second term. But we didn't see her supporting or campaigning for her VP, who was running to become president. She earlier announced that she was supporting him, but when the campaign came, we didn't see her nowhere. But she spoke in a gathering in the US the other day, and she said there are a lot of things happening in Liberia, and she somehow disappointed. So why is she disappointed? It is that she's disappointed in the president, the current government, or is that she disappointed that she didn't support her past president, or what? Why is she disappointed? Can you read your mind and tell
She
me
is
why
disappointed.
was she disappointed?
She is disappointed because I don't know, but you remember when they were coming in, she knew that they were going to have difficulty because if you know how to go to look for food and get it, it's not easy. There's somebody who don't know how to fetch for food coming to say they're coming to take over from you. But again, she felt under the pressure. She has promised George. I don't know whether I ever told anybody this thing that today maybe I'm saying it. She has
Hmm.
promised George that because you remember when the CDC started rioting and
Yeah,
protesting,
November 7th.
not even November 7th, I'm talking about from time to time during the early
Yeah,
regime.
2005. Okay, general. Yeah, all the
Yeah, they kept
rioting. Yeah.
protesting. So she had
Hmm.
promised that, okay, you're cool down during my regime because it is not good for a country to go with protest all of the time. And that was her way of appeasing them. Oh, you're cool down. Maybe the next time I will support you so you can be president. And she really wanted to meet up with her promise. But unfortunately for her, I don't know. But she still had to be in Liberia anyway. She had made a promise. So she was formed between the sisters. Anyone formed between the sisters to have taken the decision she took. People will say, okay, I supported Ellen. That's why I'm saying this. I'm telling you from the depth of you ask Ellen today, she will tell you the same thing. That this was the reason why.
But
And she,
but did she really support George Weah?
well, that the thing about vote, that's people individual decision. They go behind and do their vote. So I wasn't there. But if you went with a person, it means that you giving your support to them. And she wanted to put it in a way that she was supporting him because of what she had promised him. And that was the promise she had to meet up with. But unfortunately, it didn't work the way she anticipated. And I know she felt that it wasn't going to be easy. Because if a person would be, they say when the Christmas will be better, you tell from the Eve, right? You were
Hmm.
seeing these people, they work in government. Their output was not good. Why would you take a professional and deny a professional and put an unprofessional person in power? It's like you
But
sitting this, you
one
been
may say
on the top,
because
you been on the
one may
top.
say because the manner in which Eddie ran the country down the drain. That's the reason why it's difficult for Weah because he listened to a president where he said he inherited a broken economy. So he is struggling
But
to
let-
build this economy for it to be stronger. So
okay, so
that's because of any bypass, ugly pass. That's what he is faced with now. That's why he's going through the situation that he is faced with.
okay,
One may say that.
he inherited the bypass. So all of the systems she put in place that she was there at the time. Are these systems stay in place? Because that's how we know that you keeping on something. Because if I came here, you have a number of people, or you have a system set up here. What I will be doing
Mhm.
is to improve from this system to a better one, to update the system that you work with. But if I came here instead of the system that you have here now, I break it down that you can't invite anybody anyway like you doing anymore. You go back to your phone like the way you used to do before. Is that an
Mhm.
improvement? So if I can improve on it, let me keep it the way it was. Okay? But if I can keep it the way it is, and then make sure it go back to the phone call those days we used to make on one phone call. What does that mean? It means I've not kept it. I've not done better. I've not improved it. Okay, I was thinking, oh, okay, if he came in, no way that he could do anything about it. It's to keep it the way he saw it. But it have gone backward. Did Ellen go backward when she was in her presidency? No, she didn't go
But she
backward.
predicted that there was going to be hard time. She predicted that.
Oh, so that's why she made you. Anybody coming, they will tell you say things. Even Jesus Christ, when he told you what he said, it's not going to be easy to be a Christian. But does that mean that you should go and be living as a sinful person? They only challenging you. They telling you that it's not easy. Nowhere I have gone to school that the people tell me say it was easy. They never told me it was easy. Nowhere that I've gone, they only challenge me that it's not hard. Even nursing school was the worst one. They always told me, even people who saw me going to nursing school, they say you will not make it. But did I listen to them saying I will not make it? I tried to prove them wrong. That's what, to me, that's what he should have done. Prove them wrong. But you didn't prove the person wrong. You rather digressing than improving. I would rather stay in my stagnance and remain where I am than to go down. But we see everything going down. It's going down.
Okay. All right. So, who's your pick
Now come back.
for president for the presidency comes 2023? Do you have somebody in mind, even though you are part of the opposition? But are you supporting someone particular?
He said, I like Zig. He said Zig Morris Dukley. He said, I don't think they didn't know about Liberian politics.
As a Sigma is doing.
I like it. I don't know what I hear. Know that maybe he thinking that I'm coming from where? I'm falling from the sky. Where you think I'm coming from? I'm coming from where? I'm coming from right in Liberia. You myself right in Liberia every now and then. So you're not telling me that I don't know about Liberia. But me, I don't take part in the Liberian politics. That's how far I've gone. I have tasted it. I have partaken in it. So I know it. So that's how it is. So Zig Dukley, I have taken part in it. So don't think that I don't know the Liberian politics. But again, if you know it better, I would like for you to share it with me. For me, I'm never too late to learn. I can learn from you saying you know it better. I can learn from you. But again, you see, when we saying things, one, it is not in the person's favor of that candidate that they want. They don't want to take the good part and drop the bad part. They want you to say all the good about the person. And even as Ellen was, I still said that she did the wrong thing in the second term. She did not perform as she did for the first term. Because she did so well in the first term, that's why people went and voted her in for the second term. But the second time, she met up with her challenges. And she will tell you, she got to tell you exactly what her challenges were. So I don't have to listen to him because I think he's still the fool with another person.
So may God blessing. I'm asking you, who's your pick for the presidency comes 2023? Who do you support? Who do you think
support
can
the
turn things
opposition.
around for the better good of Liberia?
I support the opposition.
Yeah, we know there are many. There are many. We got Cummings, we got Bwaka, we got Gongo, we got Mandela Copper. So who do you think is best suited?
You want to make Duke can't hit me here right now. You want to you better let it be good. Let it be. Because there's the thing we do, we don't listen. If now I start saying maybe the group that you have here now, the moment I start talking about the person I like now, you see some people will start going.
I
Because
think it would be good for
they
you
don't
to
want to
call
listen.
a name.
They
Then
don't want
I can be able to ask you a question about that individual.
they don't want to listen to what you want or who you support. They want you to tell them the person they support, but life just doesn't go that way. And before I go to who I support, and I'm
Mhm.
not scared. I don't be scared of anybody. I talk my way of talking. And just imagine, I was one of those that stood in chat senator and could speak to anybody anywhere I feel like talking to them. And I did it during that time. Then just imagine now, nobody threatening me with arm. I can go anywhere because I'm self-supporting. I don't depend on anybody to support me. No. Ask anybody in Liberia, on the NGO and my business I work with. because I didn't want somebody telling me what to do. Because I want what I want to do that is best, not just what I want to do, but what I will do when I infringe on the right of the people, the next man. That's what I do. Okay, so I don't go supporting candidate because they are my friends, they are my tribe men. No. So I'm trying to say something here today. For many of you, maybe that have not listened to me, that will come to listen to me today. I have not come to select a candidate based on tribal line, based on friendship, based on gender, based on, maybe any other thing that friendship, those are the things. When I come in to pick my candidate, I'm very critical on how I pick my candidate. So in leadership, we have a lot of things that we put forward that we always think on how to select your candidate. Okay? We have integrity. I
Mm-hmm.
love to look at the candidates among four of them. Who can I trust with their integrity?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's how I start. So I list the number one integrity, I list the other integrity, I list, and then go on. Then I see if I go, I start, backslashing some of the quality. That's how I select leader. Not because he's my friend, not because Dakpannah is my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Dakpannah, I look at the integrity. If Dakpannah is not having the integrity he has, I put X to Dakpannah in my integrity search. So let's go by the integrity first. Baka has the integrity. Kumi has the integrity.
Mm-hmm.
I uh, Councillor Gonklo has the integrity, except for what they call her. I do not know her integrity. I don't know her much, so I would not vouch for her. So for the three of them, I know they have integrity. Okay? Okay, then I check mark the three of them. But among the three of them, they have integrity. Okay? Who can I suit as the best among the three of them? That's how for me I do my selection process. Okay. I Councillor Gonklo has worked with government. Okay. He worked as a minister. Okay. Yes, he has worked. And in fact, Gonklo was one of those who had integrity. He even resigned under the early government. Integrity, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any stigma on him when it comes to what they call corruption. I haven't heard somebody telling me that he's corrupt. I come to Kumi. I haven't heard anybody telling me that Kumi is corrupt. Okay? I come to Omer Baka. I haven't heard anybody telling me that he corrupt. So the three of them, they have not been corrupt. But
Mm-hmm.
okay, who have worked in a higher post that have not had a stigma? Then there where I come.
Mm-hmm.
Checking the three of them. Kumi have worked in the integrity area. He has not had any integrity problem, but he has not worked in Liberia in a higher office. So I'm kind of questionable about how he will work with Liberia, even though he has high international, integrity. Okay. Uh Gonglo have been there, but he has not worked in the highest office. So the only person among them here that have worked in the higher office was
But Gongo was special assistant in the office of the president.
so in that case, the vice president was higher than him. So that's what I'm telling you. Okay.
Okay.
So I check it for now in. When I come, then
Mm-hmm.
I check Boyka. So he has the integrity that I want to see because what happened? He has worked in the chain line with all of these people and have been having integrity. So I select Boyka when it comes to that level. Okay? So we go to the next thing. What you talk about? Ethics. Then
Mm-hmm.
I come and check them and check mark them and go through the same process I have gone through. And who do I select as ethical? I see Boyka because he have worked in a higher office and have had this ethical background. And I come where transparency. I come and check again. Transparency. Don't just come and just boom. Transparency. I see one in one grab and bang. I grab the one person. No. I have to be able to evaluate all of them within that line. That's why when you see these, all of these people are, when you put any of them in the higher office, they can function so perfectly. The four of them, I think, they work so perfectly they can be successful in the leadership role in Liberia. Except that one of them is higher than all of them, which is the VP Baka. When you see that, I'm saying that I think the presidency should go to Baka. That's how I do my selection. So, guys, if I'm making my selection, go through your check now like I did. Let's see how working. Just put in domestic affairs. You check them. We come to what they call, I listed them here. Influential. When you have somebody who is influential, who's the best among other than who able to influence, who able to make a decision that will better affect other us. I'm not talking about destroy us. That will better affect other us. So then I make my decision based on that line. That's how for me I make my decision. But I don't want people just going and grab one person, bam, grab them. And that's how I select a candidate. Okay? For me, that's how I want to say welcome, Mr.
Okay.
Blessing.
All right. Make all the blessings. So it's clear that you support JMB. But I have one or two questions.
Yeah, go
But
ahead.
let me welcome Mr. Muslim Richardson, one of the panelists here. And at least you're able to join us. Mr. Richardson, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Belayan. Am I saying it right?
Yeah,
Balayan. Balayan.
Balayan. Thank you so much. I mean, you actually got me out of my bed to come and join you.
thank you.
You know, I like when I see Liberians for the first time with their own head on their shoulders. I really enjoy the defense you give with respect to Ellen leaving a mess or broken economy for this government. And for heaven's sake, at least once, this is the first time I hear a Liberian defend that and very successfully. But for me, I like to be very detailed because I was trained to be detailed and learn to be truthful. And one of my professors in seminary told me the best way to tell the truth is say what you know and know what you say.
Exactly.
And if you do that, it's like it'll be as easy as eating a hamburger to tell the truth. So thank you. This assertion by CDC, by this government, I was once a sympathizer of the Weah administration, given the PAPD platform, the way they laid out. So I really saw the ma in me in that formation. But it was a LIE, lie. A lie that I want to define in two formats. You know, when something is in a lying position, it's static, doesn't move. In that regard, this government is a lie. Just where is a big lie sold to the Liberians. The second definition of a lie is an evasion. These people always evade the truth, the reality. The other word for evasion is deceit, a lie. Ellen inherited no government.
Exactly.
Ellen inherited no societal formation. All of our institutions were broken. We were disintegrated to the point where crime could not sit in the same place. I'm speaking psychologically now, in the same place.
Exactly.
Ellen inherited a system where we thought the conqueror brought this upon us. So you see, what my Sidician brothers don't see It's the truth. Most people always say, oh, during early time, Ome were there, money came and this and that. And it just shows me how simplistic they are. I'm not even going to go there. But there's something she instituted called the Structural Adjustment Program. It was Ellen who came and took, if not 75 to 80% of the guns away from us.
What moderation? We're not getting you.
Yeah, so like you were saying, I
Mm-hmm.
work with an NGO that we help with the disarmament. I work with the Norwegian Refugee Council at the time. We were paying those that had arms to take the arm away from them. So when I telling people what some of the things that we went through at the time, it wasn't easy thing for us to have taken to transform those people from that stage to where they are today. It took a lot of seriousness. It took a lot of work. It took a lot of interest to have those people where they are today. But those people don't look at all of those things. People don't look at that. They only look at today. Oh, what Ellen did. Oh, what Ellen did. I tell you, people that they took from disintegrated, those people were receiving their package. They received packages as they were leaving. You know what many of them did? If you are a carpenter, you leave with your carpenter tools. If you were a tailor, they gave you your equipment to go and start sewing. But many of these people left all of those things that were given to them. Today, they're not making use of those things. But I mean, that was just the means that they could give us to help us to improve our lives. But we didn't make use of these things. Before the roads that were built today, that Sinker and all of the community, those various nice streets, the whole of Monrovia City, those roads were bad off. You could not drive easily through the city of Monrovia. I used to live Sinker at the time, Sinker 6th Street. We didn't have streets in those places anymore. Ellen built all of those streets. Then we talk about Big Cannon Road. Then we talk about the Banga highways. So to build those roads at that time, those were not easy things, especially when you have so many things to do at a time. Not like now you can decide to take education. But all of them were in the package. You needed to look at education at the same time. You needed to look at the roads at the same time. You needed to look at health condition at the same time. And all of them were incorporated. So they started it. So what if you come, the next person that coming in is to work on what I have seen, to improve what I have seen, or to leave it where it is. Like I was saying from the early stage. So I want my brother Richardson, as he's coming in, to continue, because I've been talking all the time what he was saying. I don't know, maybe he got off. He can continue.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what are my citizen friends that play with my internet. I don't know about that. I'm sorry. I don't want to point fingers. Look, let's face reality. I just had a conversation with a friend of mine who was in seminary with me in Ghana. And he still carries this typical Liberian mentality that Liberia will get better. Okay, it's easy to say that this is no longer wishful thinking. And he thinks that if Ghana can get to where it is, then we too can get there. But what he failed to notice that when we got to Ghana in the 1990s, these guys were way ahead in their developmental thinking. They had blueprints. They kept telling us we are the very best in the whole wide world. They knew what was coming. I worked with the Internal Affairs Ministry there through a police officer friend of mine, and I was the clerk guy I used to file. We had stack of files. Some of these things were schematic diagrams of streets, these connections and flyovers you see over there of the extension of the Tema Port, the expansion of the Korto Jallah International Airport, building 2 new airports, and I saw those things on paper. in Ghana because I was there for 11 years. We don't have thinkers. So I started with a lie, a big lie. And I always say it. This president is our Donald Trump version of Liberia. The lies are too much. You see, once you start to lie from the boss and the subordinate lie, then this subordinate comes with the lie to their wives and children start to lie. The whole society is believing in a big lie. So it baffled me to see young Liberians who still have future that wants to get somewhere to think this man is the best thing. I could, if my hand were longer, I could stretch. I just got through reading the book by Nathaniel Richardson, Liberia 1847. And with my understanding, the only guy I see through the history of our something up to the contemporary was President William R. Todbor. This man had vision for the country.
Exactly.
Todbor was thinking so much so that he had in mind to develop a space program for Liberia. Todbor invested $3 million annually in agricultural program for a 15 years program. He had it mapped out. My brother told me, my older brother told me that Todbor was the one who connected the sub-political divisions in our country. Before him, Todman, people used to walk from Maryland to Monrovia. How do you do that? People used to walk from Virginia to Monrovia. Walk? So let me I thank you. I thank you, sis, for really answering the question. Liberians don't want to hear this. If anybody who inherited a broke government, in fact, no government, it was Ellen. I left the octopus. That's what chased me out of Liberia. I never went back until I came to the States. I heard you guys have something called, I don't know, Third World War, whatever.
World War I, World War II,
World War II. By that time, Dakpannah, you could not drive in an ordinary car from Central Monrovia to Red Lights.
No.
This woman opened these roads. All of the ministries were broken down. She started them from scratch and put something on paper. The hydro were 80% complete when she left. Look, you can even and start to talk about all the other roads Ellen built, but I'm not going to go there. I'm going to talk about the human resource first and foremost. She brought sanity to the Liberian society.
Exactly.
The individual person, meaning you, is what society makes. Ellen was able to first clean, sanitize you and me until we could call ourselves a nation again. And then those of you who in your economy and all of the technicality, you know what she did. So when sedition comes with their talking point that he inherited broke economy, well, what was it that she inherited? A $500 million economy? Nothing. And to the people who thinks that Ormeal was the one that proper, of course, it takes technocrats to keep those kind of programs running. Do you think what we see today, if we have put in Ormeal in charge of this government, they will stay in Liberia for 6 months? I'm sorry. So we need to have the real conversation. Dakpannah, I can't hear you.
I think he's on the phone.
Oh, okay.
But what I think is that many people did not see the development.
No,
So
they saw it.
now,
Says Korto, I'm sorry, they
some of
saw
them
it.
do not think that these things happen.
No, they saw it, but it plays so.
I just can't imagine their thinking. That's why for me, I'm playing the devil advocate.
Says Korto, says Malay, that's what we call limitation. They just limit it. Or I think, and I told Japan the other day, I think there's something about George Weah that attracts Liberians, especially young Liberians, and that thing is what we need to get to. if you remember, Ellen started a free primary education program.
Exactly.
That's why we needed to stick on instead of giving free university.
I said this thing before. I said it.
Because mom, I got 6 of my relatives through to high school, 4 out of university. I still wonder whether they completed the high school curriculum.
But my reason,
Yeah.
I want to go back to Eddie. What may say with the level of support that Eddie got from the international community, 4.9 billion were pumped into that country.
Mhm.
But we see less
Yes.
development.
Yeah,
But let
because
me. I was just telling him something about when it comes to phone, because I work with NGO
mhm.
transferring phone to a country. You just hear that big D. Oh, this amount. You know, we have Ecomon here. We have other projects that NGO was undertaking. When the people are ready to give their estimate, they bulk all of these. You talk about fund given to Liberia. It is not the physical cash that somebody receive.
There were expatriates that followed these programs.
Exactly. I work with the NGO and I know I used to make report every month how much these people have to receive back home.
Mhm.
Not all of the physical cash you see that can
That come to them. I was going to address that, but let me say this:
yeah.
even if at the time Ellen was running Dakpannah, I did not even follow Ellen development because I was busy with school here and I was not into Liberian politics the way I am today. So I really don't know what she did. The only thing that caught my attention was this rumor that were going around that Robert Stelly banked what 2.5 billion in New York, and the FBI were after him. That's when I started reading on Liberia. But let me say this: even if billions of dollars went into that country, it's like taking that money and dumping it into a big hole that you have to fill from bottom up. Dakpannah, watch this. The number of NGOs that operated during Ellen time, it was necessary because we had to rehabilitate the people. And this was a society that has no connections. A society is connectional. Ministry of Information, the tourism, then you talk about communications and the finance and the commerce. These things were broken. So to connect these things, it still took money. But you see, we can't see that money because he didn't lay on the ground to give her an express asphalt roads. She didn't do that. And the second thing is this: all the NGOs and even the ECOMON and the OME you talk about, it still took technical skills to keep the organizations running because you have to actually do the paperwork. And some of the people that Korto is saying it also costly because the professional consultation that goes on. And some of those professionals were non-Liberians. So, for example, we're talking about the state security that OME was in charge of. These guys were experts in other countries, trained them, and they came to work for you. They charge top dollar. So to keep them there, Ellen had to pay this money. We don't know that. The other thing we don't know is that this is the first year this government passed the MCC scorecards.
Mhm.
Ellen passed it successfully. To do that, it takes technical skills. This lie of a government don't have that. It's evident. But you are telling, or I'm saying you, the Liberian people, that he's development oriented rather. Good luck. This notion that Liberia will get
Okay.
better, and I will land on this one. This notion that Liberia will get
Mhm.
better, it's not wishful thinking. It's serious planning and thinking. These people are electioneering. They are not developing anything. A real politician will think in terms of electioneering, but a statesman thinks in terms of generational development. That's what we don't have in our country, especially with this government. And thank you, Korto. That point you made, I love it, and I will develop on it. If George Weah met a broken economy, or this government met a broken economy, are they actually functioning at the level that they met this so-called broken economy? You want to say that for yourself, for real? Except you are sitting on a sycamore tree and drinking goat soup. Thank you.
I'm raising people get. I'll go back to make the blessing.
Yeah.
You said that you prefer Joe Bwaka based on all of your statistics that you listed. But one may say that Bwaka have been there for 12 years and he admitted that they had opportunity to squander it. One may also say that Bwaka is not yes because of his poor health. He is aging. Do you think that Bwaka will be able to make decision like now there have been discussion surrounding him? He was made to go Nigeria, and he's associating with a man who has a Tinder character associated with Boko Haram and other things. So why would you want to see that a very old man then looking at someone who is very young, someone like Cummings, someone like Bongo, they are very young, not like 40, but they are in the 50s, 60s. Don't you think it will be best suited than Pwaga, who will have people just controlling him? Like what is happening now to him? People just controlling him. He's not making his own decision.
How do you measure decision making by people controlling him? That's why I'm having problem people saying people controlling him. You see the man, he speaks independently. Okay, he speaks adequately, fluently. The man is educated. He's speaking. Nobody putting words in his mouth.
He's not scripted.
Exactly. And I see people talking about the man is old. Pretty tell me, just as Josh Weah, who is, I think he, how much 20 years old?
56 years old.
What the decision Josh Weah have made comparing to the Omer Baka. But besides, people look at this presidential job like a weightlifting job. This is not a weightlifting job. This is a educational job. This is a written job. It's just concentration. That's all. It requires
Experience.
somebody that is attentive. That's all. Somebody that influential. Somebody that is connecting.
But make
It's
God a blessing.
a way that you have to live. We have
Braga, make God a blessing. Braga told us that he had to come to the U.S.
I'm coming there.
He got to come to the U.S. After the 2017 election, and that what led to him using pacemaker today because of the pressure from the election. So giving him a country like Liberia with such a huge burden, do you think he can really survive it, or you just have people around him just controlling him?
Okay, we have hired boycott since he having a pacemaker. How many our young people that have died? The late Geraldine Doe, the late Peno, Christmas, Kamara. I mean, I can go on listing young people that have died since he been having a pacemaker.
before him.
Hey, tell me, who determines somebody's lifespan? I'm a nurse. I have seen people with pacemaker and they have lived and effective. It doesn't have any effect on your memory. It is just there so that it can just augment your heartbeat. To just make it to regularize your heartbeat. That's all. And if there is any effect that is going to come, it will show you signal. It's not just overnight. Even you see heart attack people die from, it doesn't just kill you overnight. It will show you the symptoms over time because we ignore them. That's all. He's shown what the effects are. But we don't know what about the man old. The They've been killing Ellie from the time Ellie was running 2005, that Ellie was going to die in office.
They still killing her up to today.
Just the other day, they were all killing her on Facebook here.
I know.
Come on. No one determines somebody's life. The fact that he can do the right thing, that's my concern right now. I'm not there to judge how long he's going to live. That's not my concern. I don't make him a being. I will not kill him a being. As long as he can make sound decision, I still believe in him. And secondly, you said something. Let me land on this other one. You said, like I said, the scrutiny opportunity. And this is a man who did not lie to you. He telling you that the money came in. Probably what we should have done, we should not have done, taking on all of the projects at the same time, like they have, all of the broken system. They wanted to fix everything. But if they have gone to say, okay, let's leave this and focus on this, probably they have been successful in one major one or two major ones as compared to taking all at the same time. And he explained this over and over, how long it takes us to, understand what it is. And that's what it is. Their job was not 100% done. Can you imagine you have like a $5 million problem, then they can't give you $1 million? It's not going to be successful. Although people would think that you should do the best and get everything done, it is not easy. But the little one they were doing, we saw the improvement on what they were doing. So we can at least say they did something, they laid a print that today we can see that indeed this print was laid. It was only left for them to continue from that print. Okay, they have the electricity system, almost like my brother said, what do you call
80%.
Almost 90%. What stopped the 10% to make it 100%? What stopped the road project, which they carry on today? They can take the glory, which I'm very happy because government is continuity. I wish they could continue the other ones then and take the glory. But it's continuity, we accept that. But what is the major contract? What is the major fund that they have gone out and allocated to bring to undertake project in Liberia? Can you tell me one? Let's find one or two that I can say, yes, we allocated fund for this particular project, right, and today we are undertaking that project. I just want to see one.
The 14 military hospital, the hospital in Bapolu County, and so forth. We would name a lot.
I agree. The 14 military hospital, you build it, but you have the major hospital, JFK, that does not have medication. What it tells me.
But they built first ever dialysis center at JFK.
Major hospital that is not equipped. What they call a hospital that needed to be transferring this medication is a transferable hospital that we call it in the bigger state and thing. You have that institution that is not equipped, that is not, you don't have staff there, you don't have doctors, you don't deal with that, then you go build new one. Where are you going to get the staff to maintain that hospital? Or the fund to even maintain that military hospital? Just the name, I built a military hospital, which I accept it. I'm only saying, I commend them for that, and I'm not denying that they didn't do it. I commend them greatly. But I was saying that the great hospitals are there. You saw the other day, for typical example, when Maggie had an accident, what did they carry in Phoebe?
That Maggie Samatue.
Oh, sorry, I'm missing it up. Samatue had that accident. What did they carry him? Phoebe, where he could not stay. Why did they have to send him out of Liberia? The military hospital is there. Why they didn't carry him there? The big hospital.
Okay, so but make up of blessing. What do you make of Baka recent travel to Nigeria? Because then President we are flying private jet, and he was seen riding a private jet in Nigeria. What do you make of him seen with a notorious criminal in Nigeria?
Well, I'm not here to criticize somebody that I do not know of. You say a notorious criminal.
But the records are there. You search the web, you see all of the information pertaining to this guy.
Listen, okay. We
Hmm.
once heard that George Weah was arrested with a drug criminal. Does that make
So
him a
you
criminal?
so
No,
because
I just see
we are
everything.
dating, so Baka should do the same.
No, I just want to compare people
Hmm.
because when then George Weah is a criminal, he's a drug criminal. Okay, we should consider that. Somebody saying that about a person that I do not know about, I do not go to argue with that. There's a man, he was caught, he was even apprehended, right? Does that make him a drug criminal?
No,
But
but he was only called in for questioning because the man are the individual resident when they went to do the
no,
raid.
Waka is not even called in for questioning. Waka will
But
never
for this
participate in
man,
a
he has a
single.
record of associating with Boko Haram.
Okay, George Weah, well, Boga Haram. Okay, you saw him. So does that make him a criminal? All of that. So
But do you think Baka should be associating himself with such a people?
what let Baka come and tell us because I will not discuss Baka that on that. He has a mouth. He will
Okay.
come and tell you how he associated with that. I don't know. I don't know about that person you're talking about. And if the person you're talking about being a criminal is also complimented in his country, he is awarded. So how do you compare both? So for me, I will not hesitate. I will not discuss this thing
But you
until.
know our African government will shield criminals. You know that.
No, I'm not saying if it is true. Whatever has been said, I will have reservation with him. But until then, I will investigate and hear from what Brecker has to say. But you can't just see somebody like you see somebody I interact with somebody and you just conclude that I am in a great deal with this person. Anybody like all of the people willing to interview people. How sure are you that he's the one talking there? Did he tell you that he was going to this man?
But we
So
saw them in photo. We saw them in picture posted by Tita Europe.
oh, so so if you see somebody in a picture, so it
Hmm.
concludes that you're the person in a deed.
And we also got information that he was the one who sent his private jet for Baka.
Well, so let's wait and see. Baka is coming. He will tell us what he is, what connection he has with these people. But until then, I cannot,
Maybe
conclude
the blessing is that you behaving like commies right now. You earlier said that most time we Liberians we always support wrong things along that is our friend or someone who support doing it and who support it. So that's it. I think that's what you're trying to do now because
I
I
don't.
expect you to criticize Baka for associating with such a character, but
But
you are
you
saying
have the
no.
right. I didn't tell you don't do it. I did not. You see me telling you don't do it?
No, no, I'm saying you. I expect you to condemn that.
Oh no. But I'm investigating. If I find out that it's true, I will
Okay.
have serious reservation. I'm not one of those who will
Mhm.
see wrong and support it. I would not see it and support it for him. But until I can know what it is, I can just not conclude. I just can't conclude. I'm talking on things that I know that happened. And these are things that we know that happened physically that I saw with Joshua. I did not link him to any of these people. I did not tell him you were criminal. No. Not because you affiliate with somebody and mean you are in the person criminal's eye. I see people to smoke, I'm in their midst, I don't smoke. I see people to drink, I be in their midst, I don't drink. So it doesn't necessarily make me to be like them. Okay, so that's the point I'm speaking from.
Okay.
Okay,
All right, may God bless you. If anybody want to call, you can call in, and the number is there. You can call in. We are winding down. We've been here for some time now. We are gradually winding down. But what do you make of the how you call it? Alexander Cummings? He is not being supported by the people. All of the coups that have been done in Liberia, he always come in last. It's like a competition between Boaka and Weah. But hey, guys are saying that he is formidable. The last time the global people came up and endorsed him, but then we saw other global groups came up and said, "Oh no, we didn't endorse him. Those people that did it, they did it on their own and blah blah blah." How do you see Cummings' chances? Do you want to advise Cummings to just put aside his ambition and go second to Bwaka? Do you think that that would be the best decision for a possible win comes 2023? The Bwaka Cummings ticket?
Dakpannah, I have been advocating this, and if the ANC can attest to that, most of the women have been in their inboxes talking to them to make sure that we could do that, to unite these people, because I think the both of them working together will make a better team. Because Kumi actually is one of our best, one of our finest, Liberian too, and that I can take it from him. He's one of the best. Okay, and he was able to excel. One thing I want to tell Kumi today, I don't know whether nobody have told him. He went to Kokolo. He started from down there and extended into a higher up.
Mhm.
Okay? What happened with this presidency? He cannot play that in the presidency. Because if I thought that my winning election could be through you, I would rather pass through you to be successful. It is true that Kumi is not as popular as Boyka is.
Mhm.
But equally so, you cannot say that he doesn't have forces behind him. He has men behind him too. But the only thing is that it will have make a better team that it put their two forces together, and make a better win. And in election, excuse me, in election, we deal with numbers. Actually deal with numbers, because if you don't have the vote, you can. It's not imaginary. It is not. I have the charisma, except for John Weah, who went because of likability from Mr. Dukley. Dukley said, that Dukley, that Linda said, I just like George Weah. Yeah, some people, they just physically, their physical appearance, they just get attracted to you. And that's the difference people do, the mistake that we make, not because I'm physically attracted to somebody or somebody physically attracted to me, I just consider them as the best. No, let that physical attraction just be that attraction. It is not for me to compliment them with a job because of that likability. No, it is not the likability that requires that you should get a job. Job goes through merit system. We get job according to our qualification. We get a job according to our input and output. That's how we get a job. You merit it. You don't come overnight and say, I want to be. I can be here. Okay, you here, your trade that you have learned.
Mhm.
Because I'm even educated, I will come tell you, say, I know that trade better than you. Everyone or other have gone to school and learn a trade. You don't come from school, graduating and from school, they just go and trust you with a job. No, you don't. You have to carry you through internship and all of the process, not internship, rather. You have to go through a process that you would be trained. You don't just go and get a job. So that's what I wanted him to have done. Kumi would have just gone through Baka and be the vice president. That would have promoted him more, make people to know him, and maybe by the next time, he will be the next president. But now, I know he has money, like his followers say, the man get money, he cannot work alone, or he cannot go on a Boyka as VP. Well, that's it. They know how to do it. But if it was left with me to make that decision, I would have preferred him going alone with Omer Boyka. And this, I have said it over and over, and I think that's the best thing. If they do that, there will be a formidable team that can win. We are in just a first round if they just listen to us. But other than that, he will be wasting his resources. Well, maybe he knows how he getting here. And somebody told me, say, oh, the Liberian are contributing. But the thing about it is the contribution is not what it is, what it could be directed in a positive way than being wasteful. For me, I hate wastefulness. I'd rather get a phone and direct it in a positive way than to be wasted, for nothing. That's how I think
Okay.
I want to be. Thank
All
you.
right. So, Mr. Racing, we are gradually winding down.
I know. I'm so sorry. I
Do you
don't
have
know
something to say
who.
as it relates to Waka? I don't know whether you follow his visit to Nigeria.
Yes.
I don't know where you read about the guy who he was seen in photo with, his character, his dealings, and other things.
Yeah, I don't know him as a person. I heard the noise or the reports all over the place. But I want to touch on something he says was talking about Cummings
Mm,
and then Omer Boaka, and then I'll come to that Nigerian trip. I'm one person who believes in meaning, finding meaning in life. If Cummings, and what I mean by finding meaning in life is that everyone, if you are going to be successful, whether it's in a career or a project or even a school, you have to have an aim. You eye that mark and you aim for it and be dead set till you get to the end. You realize that aim. And I cannot sit here and say I am more Liberian than anybody. Not even George Weah, not Cummings, or not Omer Boakai. So I think the way I resolve it is that Cummings has an aim as a person, and his aim is the presidency. So I really don't want to beat hard on him as to why he doesn't want to run under someone else. This man wants to be president, and that's why he sees as meaningful to him, and he thinks he will make a meaningful contribution to the country by being president. So that's the calculations. I don't want to take that away from him. What I want to say is that I truly agree that if the two were to be one ticket, that would have been very not only formidable but redemptive to Liberia. Because you see, Omer Boakai, I think he's a wise guy. When I first started sympathizing with CDC and started postponing the President Weah, I saw him with one interaction there was a lady, there's a video, ladies were demonstrating. They were in the rain. Sir Joseph came out and kind of talked to them. And the president came out and talked. And when he spoke to those people, I knew he was a grassroots president. It shows to me that he could really be a good president if people allow him to be weird and not get scripted. The same thing I saw in Omer Boakai. I haven't gotten that kind of incline with Cummings yet. Boakai's statement about there is no reason why a car should be stuck in the mud during rainy season was misunderstood. And I don't know, simply because maybe I'm a thinker and I really want the best for my country. So I probably read a lot into that statement. But his explanation tells me this man was wise. And he's a wise guy. I spent a lot of time read a lot of metaphysical books. Because theology do that kind of thing to you before going into nursing and all of that. So Boakai, in his explanation, I just say, well, then I'm not defining this for him or I'm not interpreting his statement. He said this, and it really makes sense to me. He said, look, there are stakeholders that contribute funding to this country, especially with respect to these road constructions. He said, I will go to them and tell them, we don't want the money. Give her one yellow machine for one county. Put one yellow machine in every county with one engineer. And that engineer will train other people. So that one machine would recondition
the county roads. Because look, I'm a practical guy.
Exactly.
Think about it, Dakpannah. If we have one yellow machine for Grand Coulee County, only for Grand Coulee County, and is well oiled and maintained, so when the Baccalaureate road gets rocky, you send that machine and it grits it. You get one more in Grand Judah, and if Grand Judah gets rocky road and it conditions it, Sando does the same thing. You've already connected the country. So he said, in the first 100 days, we were then conditioned the vast sections of roads that caused cars to be stuck in the mud. And people took that thing out of context.
Exactly.
That common sense approach made me to think that that old man is wise. He's a thinker. And then I heard him on his Morning Star interview in Nigeria. And I think, wait a minute, where is the script? I thought he was reading from some kind of teleprompt.
Nothing.
But the old man is wise. So think about it. In my bed, I sat there and said, wow, if you would have this kind of guy and Cummins, we we have policymakers. Because this is about anything you do is always led from the head. Even the God business, which have what we call the Godhead. And so I think Oman Boaka is winning some admiration from me. I don't know. I have not read a lot on him yet, but I think he's winning admiration. And this other thing is that if we really do a character analysis, this man is 78. He's going to be 80 years old. You think he will want to ride in a wind flap car? Do you think this man will want to go for 2 girlfriends? That's how our money goes. Do you think this man will want to probably opt out for a private jet, even though somebody offered him a ride on a private jet, according to the report, and we went bizarre? So I think it's a good thing that this guy that people are talking about, he comes up, because you need this kind of crisis, this social crisis, to really show how a leader is defined. So I want to see how Mr. Cummins, not Cummins, but Mr. Boaka respond and deal with this so-called bad guys offering rights, and see in the end, maybe I can make a decision. Yeah.
Now, raising me for you there and take this caller. Yeah.
Okay.
Caller, welcome. Your name, where you calling from?
Thank you, Dakpannah. My name is Amadou Dakaboy Glenn, calling from New York, New York.
Okay.
You know, I've been watching the show. I never wanted to call.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to keep listening. But your partner is there, Mr. Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
He caused me to call.
Okay.
Mm.
You see, these are the people that don't mean nothing good for Liberia. He's supporting Boaka. He said Boaka view is the best. Though Mr. Richardson is, I believe, he been doing himself for about multiple presidents in Liberia, maybe 5, 6, 7, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe, I don't know.
Why you think so?
You
think the man is that old?
Take this because of what I'm seeing or how I see it. Because Dakpannah, does Mr. Richardson really know when how long they've been creating roads in Liberia?
We're
talking about paving roads. This man is talking about creating roads. Everywhere around us. In one country that keeps creating roads. I was in Liberia in September. I drove from Monrovia to Freetown on paved road. When you see people saying that Sierra Leone is now getting above Liberia, it's because of that. Most of the road lines are paved. And then men talking about what I say they should get county, each county grade up to grade road. But he even have a few no machines he's talking about. And a greater road is not a road. That means already things road days today. Tell him.
Okay.
Even in America here, when you go on the farm, you drive on a paved road. A greater road is not a road. We're talking about pavement. So what idea is sustainable. It means good for Liberia.
All right. Thank you.
I think yes, that's the main reason for. And the problem why you don't have greater in all the country. We talk about turn. I was a little boy, I know. The very first highway in the Republic of Liberia, do you know it, Dakpannah? The very first highway in the Republic of Liberia, do you know it?
Bamagira Highway, the one.
No, I'm talking about the first motor car road, the first car road, the first major highway in Liberia. That road is still dusted today. No quota on it. It's the road that leading from Morovia straight to Bapolu going Guinea. That's the road King Salvoso used to travel on to come to King Long Peter then along the coast. Up to today, as you and myself talking, it's still dusted. And that's why Mr. Richardson say he and one guy that idea is very brilliant. They to put motor grader on it to grading. He's really talking about paving road.
Okay.
Then Mr. Richardson,
Thank you.
that idea is 18 something idea.
Okay. Thank you.
That's why I made this president George we are and this government is there. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Dakpannah.
All right.
Dakpannah, I just want to say let me just say something, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You see what Mr. Richardson said when people make statements, people don't analyze, they don't sit and listen. I don't know, I will have something with our because they have reading and comprehension. You read and then you comprehend. You understand what the person is saying. It's like in 100 days.
Yeah.
Can somebody pave road in 100 days?
No, you can't do that.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
They are saying for the roads that are damaged for now, for the 100 days, that's what we will do until we can start getting money to pave road. If you don't say at the time it is like that, then you think about maintaining it. How will you maintain it?
Yeah. You see, Dakpannah, can I respond to the gentleman?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. My brother, thank you very much. I think you need to play the tape again and listen to what I said. First of all, that statement was not my statement. You know, the idea is my idea. So get that straight. The second thing I want to tell you is this. You got to read. And I mean no disrespect to you. Because when you read, you think. Then I want you to learn to speak. When you speak, you can negotiate in life. And the next thing I want you to learn to do is to learn to write. A writer is a thinker. I told you that Bwakai's statement that I see no reason why a car should be stuck in the mud in Liberia in 2022 because he's saying we can apply a common sense approach since we don't have the asphalt express road connecting every county capital. So what Braga is saying is that as the roads are today, where there is really bad roads, where the cars are stuck in the mud as we have it now under this president, he will employ a yellow machine to condition that area, that section of the road that is spoiled until your asphalt express can reach to every length and breadth as George Weah is paving them to your thinking. So this is not Mr. Richardson's idea. I'm telling you that Oman Bwakai's approach, because the common saying in Liberia, you know, is, my brother, whoever you are, that dry meat is sweet. But before the meat gets dry, what do you eat? So until John Weah can pave every asphalt express highway in Liberia, we are now being stuck in the mud. And this man is suggesting a engineering common sense approach. And you sitting there talking about Mr. Richardson say we should continue to grade roads. That's not what I'm saying, brother. Read again
Okay.
or go listen. Thank you.
Um, all right, Mr. Rizzi, I think we need to stop here and call it a day
Mhm.
of, make it a blessing. I want to say thank you for accepting our invitation to be on the Dakpannah Show. I'm excited that you're able to come on and speak to the issues that matter most
Sure.
to our country, Liberia. So you can get your party, and then we'll close out Mr. Rizzi and we'll call it a day.
Thank you.
I want to tell you thank you so much for your invitation today on your Dakpannah Show. And I'm glad to be here. Anything concerning Liberia, I'm not tired. I'm not weary. We still talk to our people. I want us to really learn and comprehend, read and comprehend. Because
So
Mhm.
when will you be back? When are you going back?
me, where,
Yeah, to the
where?
motherland. When you going back?
I mean, anytime game I hear, I can go back. I ain't one of them who still there.
So
That's why.
will you be in a campaign? Will you be campaigning for Bwaka?
Well, I would not tell you, but I be Liberia.
But you're doing it now. Yeah, campaign is on.
Oh,
No,
I will
I'm
be.
talking about
Don't
for
worry.
her boots to be on the ground.
Oh, okay.
I also be in my mood. I will be in my mood, you know. But until then, for me, I just don't rush. I take time to make my own
Yeah.
analysis. Not people who there killing themselves now. Oh, but guys, they eat as much as I am looking
Well,
at it.
well say
Anything,
Korto,
yes.
Blackwana, I'm sorry. Before while you close, I'm sorry I didn't start the show, but I really wanted to ask you a question, and I want you to incorporate that in your closing. Just where it's a heavy weight politically speaking, and as I'm talking about in terms of the grassroots. All right, how do you think Boyka will overcome that to beat him? I mean, I just put that in your closing as you close. Okay.
Yeah, and that's what I was really coming to. Up to this time, actually, people have not considered the importance of their lifestyle. They have been so frustrated and be in one condition, you feel comfortable being in that position for a long time because that's why you have gathered and you have seen yourself in it. We all have found ourselves in that condition until we saw other part of life. Before we knew that the condition we were in is not the right condition. So I'm just telling our people, I see the reason why many of us think that people will see Iran is our God is because that's the one we are seeing Iran. My father used to say, this man always said that the woman he sees in the village that he's in is the most beautiful woman. Until he leaves from that village and goes to another village before he see other women and say, oh yeah, they have beautiful women. But that's why we find ourselves in. We feel that the condition that our people are in now is the best because they haven't gotten exposure to the neighboring countries, to compare the level of the lifestyle in your life in your country as compared to your next door neighbor, Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Africa. So we have not seen that. But until you can start reading, until you can start listening around you, you will not know these things. And that's why I'm telling our people they should not be stuck in that lifestyle. I see people, our young brothers and our children, they are only riding motorbikes and they feel comfortable. They think that's the best life for them because they can make a pocket full of money. What happens to you when you have outgrown that bicycle ride or that bike riding? What becomes of your life? Can that bicycle riding keep your life, improve your life and the life of your kids and your family? It's not just that. It's people afraid to take the struggle. Why some of us were going to school, other people were saying, I don't have the time to go to school. If I
Mhm.
go to school, and a waste of time. But today they realize that the time some of us took to go to school is not a waste. It's betterment. And that's why some of our people don't know yet. They don't want to make the sacrifice. Let me sacrifice and improve my life today. Then depending on somebody $5 and $10 that tomorrow I will still be begging for money. So you either be begging until the end of your life, or you improve your life, let people beg you tomorrow. I mean, that's what I'm telling our people. I know they will not understand right now, but we will continue to talk to them to see reason. When I was running campaign in Liberia, I know how we play the strategy. But now when you're not on the ground to talk to your people, it's different. You have to give illustration to people. Let them see, let them imagine themselves in that lifestyle and compare their lifestyle with other people. Like I told you when I was growing up, my father always told me, you see that woman? Do you want to be like that woman or you want to be? He would compare the two cases. Then it left for me to choose between the right case that I want to be in or the wrong one. So that's why we need to put our people in. Till now, I feel sorry. They don't know. They are in trap. So what we have to do is just to educate them. I know you find yourself right now in a situation and you think that's the best way, but there's a better way out there. Just make the right decision. You don't have to be stuck to George Weah. I know you love him. Myself, I love George Weah. But the only thing is that he's not the right leader. That's all. He's not the best decision maker. He's not trained or elite, leader to rule our country. It's just not there with him. There are people, he plays football and he's very good at it. You see what a man has pleasure in. He took 48 days. He's there enjoying what he has pleasure in. The only unfortunate thing is that the thing that he loves, that all of you love, you follow him for, he going to enjoy it and you're not there enjoying it. The football that many of you love that supporting George Weah today is not promoted in Liberia. Look at that firstly. What do you want your life to be tomorrow? Do you want your life to continue being like this and you continue begging, or you want your life to improve? And I'm saying I want many of you life to improve, like many of us have improved our life. I know you will say also, because some people will say, oh, you're lucky, you're lucky. Luck just don't come like that. I know luck is there. You got to work towards your luck. You have to walk towards something before you be lucky to see it. If you sit there, that luck just not going to come to you. Walk towards your luck and you're going to see it. And I want to say thank you tonight for having me on. I just want to leave this word in the mind of our people. Improve your life. Do not put your life in stagnance, because that's not all to it. That's not the end of your life. Make a change to improve you tomorrow. I want to say thank you and God bless all of you for having me on tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. May God bless you. But before you go, I want to know whether are you in support of the We Are Tired Suffering rally?
To be frank with you,
Mm,
everybody have right to express the feeling, that freedom of expression we all have it. It is their
mm,
right to express what they want. I must say I tired suffering. I tired working and sending my money to Liberia and can't realize that
Mhm.
I'm tired. But I think right now what we could be doing is just to carry on this education to our people, because many of them are
mm.
suffering. They are suffering. It's not maybe to call that kind of rally and just show them that they are suffering. Let it be exhibited that they are suffering and we need to deliver them from the suffering. It's not maybe a big rally, but maybe it's going to help. Who knows? Everybody have their own way of strategizing in politics, and that could be another good strategy for Kume to promote him. That maybe I think it is, and it's not a bad thing, because you want something, you work towards what you want, and I like that. I like his belief. I like his striving. You know, it's just I just thought he could work together instead of exhibiting the force that he exhibiting now. It could be easier for him. I'm a lazy person. I like to strategize and make my route shorter than to make it longer. You know,
Mm.
I think it will be a shorter one for him than to make the route longer for himself. So let's make the route shorter. If I can walk from here and get to you in 5 minutes, I will not take the route that take me 100 miles to get to you. Let me take the 5 minutes to get to you, then to take the 100 miles. I think what I'm thinking, that's just it. Taking the 100 miles. I know it's
So
good
you're
that,
taking a long route. But
yeah.
but but I got one more question here again before I let you go.
I thought I'm on closing statement I was making.
Yeah, now you're closing, but two, yeah, this question rang to my mind, and I think I need to
Yeah.
ask you before you go.
Yeah.
What is caught between the sisters
Mhm.
on who to pick as his running mate? Young Bikanga Laura is lobbying for that. Bena Yue is lobbying for that. Where do you stand?
Benana Ure is not lobbying to be a VP. And Benana
Do
Ure
you, do
cannot.
you really, do you really want me to believe that?
Well, he lobbying for that. I would not advocate for that.
Okay.
Yes, I would not. I would not support him for that. What I would support, I would support. What I don't support, I would not support. And I
Okay.
don't think he Barker should make that mistake.
Okay.
Yes, I don't think so.
It
He
will
should.
be it will be
It will be
a
like
political accident.
where it will be a big accident for him. He should that.
But then why you guys allowing Bwaga to associate himself with you? You are spending all his money. So now for you to be picked as VP, then you said no. I listen to more Ali2 said no. Other people are saying no. Some people are saying yes.
But that's why I'm telling you, it left for him to make the decision. I'm saying it's not good. I'm not accepting
Okay.
that. So,
Okay.
so I'm not accepting it. It doesn't mean other people don't accept it.
Why?
That's our
Why you don't think you is best suited?
Well, I just don't think that people like he's likable as compared to Nyomli Kanga. You know, that's why I feel.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
So
Nyomli
you go
Kanga
for Yomli.
formidable force as compared to
You
Yuri.
go for Yomli. You trying to play the female card.
That's not a female guy. Nyomli is a force to reconcile with. She
Okay.
is a potential lady, and I told you I don't just support any women, any other woman just because.
But in the just in the election, she struggled to win Grand Pass. She struggled to win. Just
The fight that she
a
won
little margin.
is that
She
she
won with
has.
little margin.
Yeah, she won. If she struggled, but she won, right?
Okay. Okay.
Whether you talk 10 miles or what mile to read, we're talking about Yuri. And the fastest
Okay.
possible way. She took the fastest and possible way, not the long route. She took. So I believe in her, and I think she can, be a better VP to him. If
All right.
Kume stay is transigent and he can't make it, let he take Yomli Kanga.
All right, Korto, blessing. I highly appreciate you for coming. Oh, those questions just came. I said no. I gotta ask the
I
question.
know you don't want me to say I'm closing there. I made a closing statement. You still
Thank you.
yeah.
Narezi,
Yes, sir.
you can take it away.
Thank you, Ms. Cotto. Thank you very much for coming. Look, we are getting there, and I one person who believe in hard work, and I think what those of us who are on the fringes need to do now is to start to define the definition of work. And what really baffles me though is that the young people for whom we are fighting, they don't get it. And part of that is literacy. I don't care whether they are in UMU or they are in the University of Liberia. They still need to be literate. Because if they can read, they will make sense of the situation and see themselves, like Safe Korto says, in the what we call the photo. And doing that means that we got to start thinking in the direction of a holistic development for our country. These pocket developmental projects here and there, it works, but we need to think in terms of generational change. What projects will suffice 30 years from now, 50 years from now, not just to get me into the house or to get me sitting here and maybe speak my big book, but when I'm gone, will life behind me be better than I found it? Sometimes I cry when I take my son to school in a Nissan Pathfinder 2022. Mommy drives a Buick LaCrosse. But I remember the light poles from St. Mary all the way to looking at Broad Street. I used to count them. So must I subject my son to that simply because 20 years ago I was walking to school? No, times changes, and times is what we call events. So one event starts and it ends. That's time that lasts. This is why you can't take a sixth grader and puts them in a freshman college class. They did not pass the time or spent the time in the 6th grade and high school. So they're not college ready. I think our people need to start reading, because when we flip these electronic gadgets, we see Judge Weah images. This man has, with no question, he has this burst of intensity. And the kids see these scenes over and over. And so he is the figure that they see. And that's why I think it's difficult for you and I, Miss Korto, to go on the ground there and put what kind of comments into the minds of the young people as Weah is imprinted in them. They saw Judge Weah even during your first World War, your second World War, and your third World War. Weah was still evident. And so we got a job to do. And that job is to sell whatever candidates you want for the change that you want. But I'm telling you what I see on the ground. This president will win again. I'm sorry to say he will. You know, I'm on my way there now, but I'm there nearly almost every day because I have a project, and these guys have to send me videos, sometimes live videos and all of that. And the young people, they're still voting Judge Weah. And you know, Liberia is 60 to 70% young. So good luck. Thank you. Dakpannah, can you hear me?
All right, man. Raising you done, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so yeah, we want to say thanks to everybody that followed the broadcast. You know, this was an emergency show. May God the
Okay.
blessing and I engaged. She said she couldn't come on the regular time we have the show
On
on Sunday.
tomorrow,
Because,
okay.
yes,
We
our
would
time she
have
will be
loved to have you
working today.
tomorrow.
Yeah, she said she can be working. Because I really
Yeah.
wanted her to meet with the entire team, but she said she can be working. So I said, okay, but then we can have a one-on-one. Yeah, quickly, that. But anyway, we'll have her always. She's an
Yeah.
intellectual. She been there, man. Really, she contested before. She contested
Oh,
before.
I
Yeah,
see.
in District 11, she contested before.
Oh, I see. So you tasted
Yeah.
the waters, huh? All right.
Yeah, she's a political person.
All right.
I'm a novice.
Have a good night, guys. It was
Thank
nice
you.
to
All
you.
right. Thanks,
Thank
thanks
you.
everybody. So goodbye, man. Raising. We'll hold on
So my
tomorrow.
man, we'll see you tomorrow, man.
Yeah, tomorrow. I hope you will not be working tomorrow.
Yeah, I work tomorrow, but I will be
Okay.
off by now tomorrow.
Oh, you'll be out before our time, right?
Yeah, sure.
The other time we broadcast was going on. I know y'all not responding to the
Man, I was
message.
sleeping, man. I was busy.
Ah.
The time no, that time Gongo came on, boy. Oh my God. I had to work 2 hours over.
Okay.
Yeah, I had about
Yeah. Because
three
he asked me
admissions.
for you. He said, where,
I
why
know.
a man? Why a man
I
raising soon?
know,
I
I
said,
know, I know, I know.
man
I
raising
was
working.
busy. I was busy, man.
Because it's the season,
And
he said he couldn't come on Sunday because Sunday
yeah.
you'll be doing fundraising.
Oh, I was so busy. I'm
Yeah, so
sorry.
like
I'm
only
sorry
that
about it.
time.
But I listened to it. I listened to it. I played the whole thing.
So how
I
was
even
it?
listened to I even listened to the girl. What was that girl that you had with some prince or somebody? Some prince?
Oh, that one that they political roaster you're talking about.
The
That
rooster,
it's called
yeah.
Darlene. Darlene
Oh,
Leisha.
darling. Okay. I also heard Prince and some other gentleman. So
Yeah,
I
Prince,
saw I
that
saw
one
the
that the
two the
political
two
roaster.
shows. Hmm.
Yeah. Well, how was the interview with Congo? How
The
you do?
interaction with Gonglo, it was okay. I mean, it was nearly the same like we had it before. We had him on, right? You
Yeah.
remember? Yeah,
Yeah.
it was okay. So he's still on message. He's still on message. But again, look, Dakpannah, I'm telling you, these people, they got to be serious with the Liberian people. When I say serious, I'm not saying they are jokers. But what I mean is that if they really have the country at heart, then the expediency of the press of the country's interest must be first and foremost, and not their ability. And this is the problem I have with Cummings, and I think Gonglo is surfacing to be that too. He thinks he wants to be the manager. Okay, brilliant idea. Why not team up with the rest of the political bodies?
He's a
So
elite.
that
He's a elite now.
I understand that, but again, no, no. To save a country, is never late. In fact, if let's God forbid, if a country were to declare war on Liberia, you don't say, "Oh, too late or too quick." Whatever you have, wherever you are, you go to battle. You put your all and all in it, and you don't. Hillary Clinton used to say, "I am in it to win it." Nobody go into politics or run for a position to fail. So if they really want to redeem the country, as they are claiming, if they really want to bring this bright idea that they have, then it's only expedient for them to unite their little forces that they have here and there. And that's the only way they would, connect with the people on a large scale. George Weah is a very burst of intensity. The kid sees this man when he shows up. Sometimes they just concentrate on the pair of shoes he wears, and that's it. He doesn't have to explain anything to them. They'll vote for him. Sometimes they just looked at the suit that's on him. Okay, my man, you see the president? Yeah, our papel. It's finished. You have to do the talking. And the traditional politicking, we will beat them easy. You think the kids who is on Broad Street will actually look at Baka's platform or read Cummings' platform?
No way.
You're joking. Look at that philosophical statement that Mr. Gonglo sent us. I went through it. Brilliant. Even the university students, how many of them will go through that thing and take their time? I do a 3-4 paragraphs thing on Facebook. My friends will comment and say, that long thing you put there, you're not going to get it. You say, oh, you're talking about that long thing you wrote? Really? So, for me, if I were to campaign for someone, then I think the way to do it is to get on the ground and take that flair away. Why do you think the president is relaxed, bro? In an informed society, if the president was this long away, he finished losing vote by the time he landed. But again, if President we elect, he can make the same statement Donald Trump made that made him the win. Trump said, I can go on Fifth Avenue, shoot somebody I was down to lose a vote. I can go on Broad Street and shoot somebody. I'm telling you, sedition will vote for him. How do you break that stronghold? How do you break that flare of intensity? How do you break that likability? That's what it is. This guy is liked, and it just keeps getting widening and widening and widening. Go on the street of Monrovia now and do a quick survey and ask people, if today the election was held, who would you vote for?
He always win. He always win.
Seven out of yes. You know why? Our people don't read. And when we talk about reading, we're talking about comparison. I talked to a friend of mine who myself went to the same school in Ghana. This man really still believes that Liberia going to make it like Ghana. Really? Just like that, wishful thinking like that? No. Real planning, actual commitment, goal defining, and aiming and making sure you hit the mark. Real stringent policies that will strangle other people out of the business, but for the good of the country. Even Jesus said, and I'll close on it, it is
Mm-hmm.
expedient for one man to die than for the whole nation to perish. Now, I'm not saying we should kill the weirdo before my distribution brother yesterday again, the man he said that must say, yeah, Mr. Originally, he said we'll kill the president. No. What I'm saying is that we
Mm-hmm.
have
You
to
gotta
make,
clarify yourself.
yeah, we have to give our best today for that better tomorrow. That's what they call sacrifice. So if I'm going to make it better, then I can go biblical. Abraham was not stupid to take his son and put him on the altar. That Isaac was his gold reserved. But he knew, he realized that giving Isaac would bring multiples of Isaac in the tomorrow's threats. So a sacrifice is what you give your very best today for to be able to secure the threats that tomorrow brings. So those people that do sacrifices, they're not stupid. They're making sense. Even though it may be gruesome, but we, the young Liberians and all, must learn to sacrifice. The money we spend on rice alone, can actually give us electricity in our country, or even grow out the same rice in our country. We subsidize rice for 11 to the tune of 11 million. If you do that 10 years period, you want and invest that into a great program. You want to tell me we'll not grow something like 2-3 cups of rice and eat it ourselves?
Mm.
The Liberian dish is so expensive. By the time the Pusawa leave the California Valley and even Iowa and other places, even the as far back and far east, we pay for all of that transportation. So when you look on your plate, you get dry fish over it. There's dry meat in there. There's bunny, then the palm butter, and then the Pusawa rice. Do the calculation. That plate is expensive compared to the ball of corn dust called kinky that Ghana man will eat with just pepper and 1,000. That small fish, because he's saving and preparing for the tomorrow. We eat our seeds and we want development. We just want to arrive and get there. It's not going to happen overnight. Real planning. Ask the Chinese how they do it. Look at Singapore, how they do it. Japan. Thank you, sir. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, man, Racing, thank you very much. We will be
Mhm.
on the show tomorrow. This
Yeah.
was just a special edition of the Dakpannah Show. We thought to engage with our sister,
Thank you,
our
sir.
friend, our mother. May Korto blessing. Korto Jallah Balayan. All right, man,
Yeah.
Racing, thank you. And thanks to all you
All
guys
right.
that followed the broadcast. I want to say thanks to Korto Jallah Balayan. May Korto blessing for accepting our invitation. We'll be back again tomorrow. See you guys. Good night from my end.